And you really thought the microphone was off, right? I was just playing with you. Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday, and here we are. I'm happy. We're back here in the action. Let me just quickly make sure that my broadcasting software is not all over the place. So let's see who is there. First of all, sound seems to be okay. Blacky, welcome back. Yo, Nestor, welcome back to you. Venus Gaming, first time chatter, welcome to Twitch. We have Dream, Tia, Legend is back. Sulak, Mr. Ali. A lot of well-known names by now. Only 1 week in, and I start recognizing some names. That's I'm proud of myself, not gonna lie. Super Wisp. Who else do we have? Nightfall Alicorn there again. Mage Heat. Hi, hello, Striker. Umbra Jacket. Where can I buy that? Can I buy that on Temu? just kidding. Sunny Boy Aroma. Farscape. Blue Up was nice to see you again too. Skittle. Lev. So many. Sorry for that. So many well-known names, so many new chatters. I wish you all a happy Wednesday. I hope you had a nice Easter weekend. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit exhausting for me. I went on a short trip. And Noodly, hi to you, love your videos. Ooh, Luapus joins the crew. Welcome, Luapus, to the crew. Thank you so much for your sub. Yes, that's right, everybody. I'm going to take a short break from greeting everybody personally because I have big news. Over on Twitch, we have reached affiliate status. That means, all the stuff that comes with affiliate status. Even though, and I'm going to keep it real here, even though I gotta, I'm grateful for being affiliate, but I find it kind of funny how Twitch just doesn't care about their own rules and stuff, right? In order to be affiliate on Twitch, you have to have an average of 3 viewers, which I think is not that much of a problem for us. But, and that's the fun part, you have to stream on 7 different days and you have to stream a certain amount of hours and all that. And I hadn't even reached that, right? I was fully expecting to be like, I'm going to stream for a month and then I'm going to apply to the affiliate program and then they're going to decide on it. And, at some point we will reach affiliate, right? What I did not expect is Tuesday morning after the Easter break, I wake up. I have this email in my inbox, right? It says it's from Twitch and it says, hey, welcome to the affiliate program. Just click this link to get started. And I was like, you really think I'm that dumb, huh? I was dead ass expecting this to be just a scam email where you click on the link and then they steal your channel because I knew that I had not ticked all the boxes that you need to tick in order to be an affiliate. So I checked out the email fully expecting that it would be some weird cryptic scam email address and it said no reply at twitch.tv. I was like, that looks kind of legit, right? That looks kind of legit. Doesn't that look kind of legit? And then I logged into my Twitch and it said, 2 out of 4 steps done on your way to affiliate. And under that, it said, welcome to the affiliate program. I was like, brother, what? I'm not going to complain, right? I'm not going to complain to take the fast route here, but I'm gonna keep it real. It's kind of funny how Twitch is like, wait a minute. There's this new channel and he has 100 average viewers. If we put him in the affiliate program faster than he actually should be, I smell money. We can make money with him. and then without even applying for it, they were just like, yeah, you're affiliate now. Boom. And I was like, I haven't even prepared anything. I haven't prepared any emotes yet, the sub stuff and channel points and all that stuff that comes with the affiliate status. I have none of that. I have one custom emote because Sophie, one of my mods, made a screenshot that was hilarious from last stream. And she was like, you know what?
Welcome, Tenor.
Just use that as an emote, so I did that. Hype Train is coming. Holy cow. Fuzzy Piano, welcome to the crew too, to you. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for your Prime sub. And thanks you also to all the new followers coming in. Sorry for not reading Twitch chat so far, but I found it kind of funny, right? I found it honestly kind of funny how Twitch was just dead ass. You know what? You didn't even sign up for it. Here, have affiliate status.
Welcome,
That's just it. Oh, whoa. Expressive Pumpkin. That is, I'm sure you're the most expressive pumpkin in the chat. Thank you also so much for your contribution to the Orb Valleys. I really, really appreciate it. Have a lot of fun with the loyalty badges. I did copy them from YouTube, so they do work. emotes. We only have like one at the moment, but I'm going to work on that. And yeah, to everyone else who is on YouTube, link to Twitch in the video description, just in case that you care. God, I love your videos. Thank you so much. But of course, also welcome to everybody who is watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the new follows. 100%. What? Farscape joins the crew too. Farscape, big bro fist, hype train. Welcome to the crew. Thank you so much for your sub. Wow, I honestly didn't expect it to go like that crazy. Wow, crazy. Honestly, why did I switch off the music? Ever got subs gifted, Fuzzy Bear? Not yet. I did gift one sub to one of my moderators because he really wanted to have one of the founder subs and he was a bit short. So I was like, you know what? I gift you the founder sub for this month. And then I found out that if you gift a sub, it doesn't count as a founder sub. So that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, to everybody who got one of the 10 limited founder subs, congratulations. I hope you have fun, like So Softy is here with the first badge next to the name. Congratulations for being one of the first people to sub to the channel. Hopefully having a great future. What? Obar74 joins the crew. Obar, good to have you on board. What the heck, Fuzzy Piano? What? Fuzzy Piano coming in with the 5 gifted subs, bro, or sis. By the way, I was thinking about it off stream, the whole bro sis thing. Can I just all refer to all of you as Sib, like for sibling, that's like unisex and includes everybody? I can just be like, yo, Sib, what's going on? Is that cringe or is that fine? Is Sib cringe or is it fine? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. And welcome to everybody in the crew who got one of those gift subs. Hype train is crazy, right? I'm just here, I think, yo, we're going to have a nice chill Wednesday, probably get some blue and yellow Archon Shards because I never get lucky with the red ones and then I'd be sad. But you know what? Xjoe's like, yo, you know what? I'm already paying you money on YouTube. Let me pay you money on Twitch too. Xjoe, keep some of the money for yourself. You need to eat. You need to live, right? If you just spend everything on Twitch and YouTube subs, you're never going to get out of that paper box on the street, man. Just kidding. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much and welcome to the crew, everybody. Love you, bro, but that cringe. Okay, Nawal says it cringe. Nawal says it's great. Mass Atrocity also joining the crew. Mass Atrocity, thank you so much. Wow, I see a lot of like sub loyalty badges in the chat now on Twitch. That's crazy, boy. Holy moly, I look in the camera, it looks like I'm kind of getting red, but I don't really care. I don't really care. Hello, Hoji Gamer. Welcome to you too. By the way, if I miss any chat messages, I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all the like sub madness that is going on right now. Like, for example, Sulak who came in, Brofist. Yo, welcome to you to the crew too. Wow, it's unbelievable. I did not expect this. Level 4. People go crazy. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it 100% real. Y'all are crazy. I hope you all had a great Easter time. How about we just switch up the topic a little bit and talk about what you did on Easter? Easter time. MR4 already. Yeah, MR4. If I was a greedy YouTuber, I'd be like MR30 or nothing at all. But just kidding. Eat eggs, Mr. Ali. That's a good one. That's a very good one. EDA, Lev says EDA this week is pain. I have heard that. I have heard EDA this week is no operator plus no gear, which is like the most toxic garbage I can imagine. That's gonna be pain. It kind of sounds like a Revenant adventure, not gonna lie. Kind of sounds like you're just mesmer skin your way through that with the 550% ability strength build that I showed that other stream with like 33 charges on mesmer skin, just not caring about anything. Oblivion, yo, it's Nestor, Oblivion Remastered. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about Oblivion Remastered. Honus, by the way, before we talk about Oblivion Remastered, I see First Chatter Honus 05. You had a lot of homework. That's kind of sad. I hope you did enjoy the long weekend a little bit at least. But, you know, That's kind of unfortunate having homework. I feel bad for you, man. But I'm happy that you made it to the stream. Getting back to Oblivion Remastered. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I didn't even know anything about it. I didn't even know it was going to happen. Like, I went on Twitch yesterday evening. I was like, every big streamer in the recommendation is playing Oblivion Remastered. And I'm like, is that like a new Skyrim mod or something? Is that like just something that went on Nexus mods and I just didn't care about it because it's on Nexus mods? But guess what? Guess what? There's like Oblivion Remastered. And the fun thing is, I've always started with Skyrim. I never played Elder Scrolls really before Skyrim. I'm like a real casual scrub, right? And I've never played Oblivion in my life. And I'm sure some of you will be very mad at hearing this, but I never played it. I have no idea what's going on with it, but visually it looked really cool. And I was always kind of sort of turned off by Skyrim's gameplay, because even if you like Skyrim, right, you got to keep it 100% real. If you like Skyrim, even if you love this game, even if you modded the living heck out of it, Skyrim's core gameplay, the movement, WASD, the gun/sword play is just kind of awful, right? This is just absolute garbage. It's the same garbage gunplay with the bow that you would have in the Fallout 3 and New Vegas games. It's just, it's mechanically not fun, right? This is not made by Bungie. This is not good. And this has always turned me off because the core gameplay feel of moving and attacking was always kind of really, really garbage. And that's why I never really vibed that much with Skyrim. But in the Oblivion Remastered streams, it kind of looked fun. Kind of looked a bit smoother. What? Esamir, welcome to the crew, to you too. Keeping the hype train alive. Holy cow, Esamir. Nice that you made it. Welcome to the crew. Thank you for your sub. Getting back to Oblivion Remastered, this kind of looked fun. Like, it looked kind of like a bit like Fallout 4 in the sense that, you know, Fallout 4 is kind of not that much of a good Fallout game, but the core gameplay is much better than 3 and New Vegas, right? We've got to keep it real here. The gunplay, the movement is much smoother, feels much more like a first-person shooter, and I liked Fallout 4 because of that. It's an unpopular opinion, but I liked Fallout 4 because of that, and I'm tempted to try out Oblivion. I'm really tempted to do that because Hype Train, whoa, we got Hype Train level 4. Guys, honestly, I just can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate all the love. Big double tenno bro fist to all of you. I did not expect to get like overwhelmed with the hype train just a couple minutes into the stream, and now I'm talking about Oblivion Remastered, and everybody who comes in the stream is like, why the hell did I click on this? I was expecting Warframe. All I wanted to say is Oblivion Remastered kind of looked better in the core gameplay part than Skyrim, and that enticed me to maybe try it. To everybody who has played it already, is that true? Does it feel a bit more Fallout 4-y in the core gameplay, or is it as garbage as Skyrim with the core gameplay? Is it like that? Love your work, by the way, Esamir. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I would definitely try it, Nestor says. Double bro. Exactly. That's what we're doing here. Lol, can definitely relate to that. Nerlac used to mod Skyrim just to make the comment. It's like that, isn't it? Right? If you hit somebody with a sword in Skyrim, it's just like the sword phases through it. Like, I would honestly love some like MLG hit marker type of things on screen just to get a bit of hit feedback, but that's like just freaking awful in Skyrim. Please keep on going with support you on Patreon, but say, bro, Fuzzy Piano, my friend, you already did so much, and I will definitely keep on going because that whole,
our numbers grow.
Electri Hun joins the crew. Thank you so much for the Prime sub to you too. Welcome to the crew. MLG Lotus appreciates that. What I wanted to say is Oblivion Remastered. I'm going to try it. Hi everyone, Kareem. Hi to you too. Wish you all a beautiful Wednesday. I think it is about time we jump into the game. Let me just open that up. More buggy than Skyrim? Oh, what? It's more buggy than Skyrim, really? I mean, it's probably going to take just a couple months or so before the community patch comes out that fixes most of the scripting stuff. Usually, like every Elder Scrolls game or every Bethesda game, basically, is just like, you know what? couple of days after the whole thing goes live, it's just like community patch, scripting error, everything fixed, yada yada yada. that's just how that goes. Sure, maybe, but at some charm, jankiness of the Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, Striker, that's kind of it, isn't it? I would never expect any Bethesda game to not be complete jank without like community patches or anything. Okay, let's log in real quick, and then we can go to Warframe in-game, which should appear any second now. Should appear any second now. There we go. There we go. Now we can go to Warframe. And out of all the Archon Shards, which one is better? Hoji Gamer, that depends on what you currently need. I personally am short on red ones because I need that. I've used a lot of them on builds, but in general, you kind of want to have a healthy balance of all of them. And whenever you need one, you have one then. You know, that's how it goes, basically. Mr. Ali, you may need 2 years to update. Well, kind of. Oh, boy. By the way, who you are seeing here, before we get into it, this is Korra. And honestly, I kind of vibe with this Korra fashion. I know I don't want to praise myself all too much, but honestly, this crown here, the Signa, is really pretty on her. I like that. I really like that helmet too. Make a Korra build video for loot. Guess what? That is what I wanted to get into. That's what I wanted to get into. Because, friends, I have been relentlessly testing Korra up and down because I wanted to do a build video, right? You've been asking me to do a Korra build video for years now. Some of the earliest comments on this channel is, please do a Korra video next. And I was always like, no, because DE said at some point they will rework Pseudo-Exalteds, and I want to wait until that happens. Now that happened, and everybody was like, no, you gotta do the Korra. And I just needed a lot of testing to kind of get an idea of how to make her happen, basically. Yo, that's just, yeah, kind of that. Fuzzy Piano, change from Prime subscription to its level 1 subscription. Thank you so much. That's really generous of you. I don't have an alert for that, apparently, but I saw it in the chat. Thank you so much. But same goes to you, right? Don't spend anything on, you know, the only frames. Wink, wink. Just keep some money for your own food. No, but like for real, my problem with Korra was that, of course, everybody knows Korra can do the whoosh and then everything dies, right? And with melee influence, she can do the whoosh and everybody dies squared, right? But that was kind of boring because honestly, that every melee exalted frame now does that. My Excalibur video did that. My Atlas video did that. My Baruch video did that. My Ash video did that too.
Welcome to
and
our numbers.
What? Even more. Papazov 35, welcome to the crew, to you too. Thank you so much. Thanks for the guide and build video as well. Thank you for your generosity, my friend. Really means a lot. Have fun with the one emote that we have. Don't worry, we're going to be working on that. Now, what I meant to say is, don't you think that it's kind of like boring to just play Korra into whoosh, everything dies? Because I wanted to make something happen. And I'm going to show you that to you now. I was a little bit creative. People will be not happy about this because people love to just be like, you're dumb whenever I do something off meta. And then they call me a meta slave whenever I do something on meta. Korra Exalted uses melee exposure. Yeah, I think melee exposure as an arcane for the Korra Exalted is actually the way to go. Melee influence might be a bit better in the AoE department, but Korra with her Strangledome kind of has melee influence built in. So that's kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? I would actually go off meta equals bad, meta equals boring. Exactly, Sonny, but that's how it is. That's how it is. So we are going to do something here. I want to show you a little something. Instead of just going whoosh, everything dies, I decided to make a Venari build where I as a player don't have to do anything, and instead Venari just does all the work for me. I can just mark an enemy, and Venari does this little boof and everything dies. And I haven't done a single thing. Haven't done a single thing. Now, to be fair, this whole mechanic with status effects being spread by the companion and yada 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 with that bond mod, that's nothing really new. We've seen that 1,000 times before. But I'm going to keep it real with Korra. It's just, was that 114 million Ethiotic? Was that 114 million? I can already feel my voice is not going to make it till the end of the stream. I just, what the heck happened? Yep, that's basically, yep. Kareem, that was amazing. Hope you liked it. Thank you.
Welcome, Tenno.
Geek Dad Customs. Geek Dad, thank you so much for your Prime sub. Really appreciate it. Much fun with the yet to be more emotes. By the way, that one emote that we have kind of looks like I'm crying, even though it was from the freeze frame when my camera stopped working last time. And yeah. F Quasi, yes, exactly. Kubro Companion and then the Mecha mod said that also works. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. The thing is, if you use any other type of companion, we can just quickly do that because I have modded a Kubro for doing specifically damage. If I just go ahead and let the Kubro do the damage, I'm a little bit reliant on just the AI of the Kubro, right? Damage Dog comes and Damage Dog does its thing, which is cool. This time it seems to work. You know, same way as Venari, the Kavat. But the thing is, that's Simulacrum. And in real life missions, you're always relying on the absolute insanity that is Warframe Companion AI. And sometimes they're just standing there doing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Verlog, thank you also so much for your Prime sub. Thank you. So generous. What is that Kubro build? I think I showed that in my companion video, but I can show you the Kubro build, no problem. That is, I think, a Pharaoh Predacite. This is the Predacite build. I think Pharaoh Predacite is the best Kubro for damage dealing. I think. The Kavat shreds, exactly. Long story short, what I meant to say was that with Venari, you have the one big advantage that you don't have to rely on companion AI. You can just spawn the enemies, aim at the enemies, and then say, Venari, kill that. And Venari teleports there, starts attacking reliably, and poof, everything dies. That's just it. With no other companion in the game, can you just mark an enemy and the companion will be like, aye, sir, I'm just going to do that and not get distracted by anything. Honestly, with this Venari, right, this Venari kills a Steel Path Necromech in the Sanctum Anatomica in 1 second. I could not believe it when I saw it. Like, there was the Necromech coming in, I was like, kill that Necromech. Dead. I was like, guess I'm going to feature that in the video. Just saying, right? There's more than Whipclaw to Korra, and that's what I'm going to do in the video. I already did record some of the video footage for that, and I think if everything goes right, then the Korra video will go live sometime tomorrow evening. Don't want to make too many promises, though. Might also be Friday, but it is going to come out this week. I just need to do the voiceover and all the cutting, so I would say it's 50% of the overall workload is done. And then you will get the Korra video this week. Exactly, Deathstrider. Acolytes are also not safe. The good thing with Korra is that Venari, you can just tag any type of enemy. Even the ones that are invincible to Warframe abilities. You can just tag them anyway, because Venari just normally attacks them. That makes Venari very versatile and reliable in many different situations. But before I just keep yapping on how great my Venari is, how about we just play a little bit of Warframe? How does that sound, chat? How does that sound? How about we just play a little bit of Warframe? Kill... Bro, no, sorry. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Need video, Apex Squad. You're going to get the video this week. No issues. No issues. I want to take a little look at what the Elite Temporal Archimedia has in store for me this week, which Warframes we get, which weapons we get, and if I want to mess with this or not. That was not what I want to click. Fast travel. There she is. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got Saito 9, we got Gyre, and Caliban. That's actually pretty good. That's two, actually 3 good frames, but my Gyre is not built, so we're just going to pretend she doesn't exist. And we have Exterminate, we have Legicide Harvest, and we have Tank Assassination at level 500. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Which weapons? Oh, we got the Cedo, which is good. The Cope and the Tsar. Wish my Kuvazar was properly built. That is all kind of meh. And that is all. But we have the Cedo, which is fine. That's fine. That's not bad. Striker, you should definitely build a companion. If you want to do companion damage dealing builds, I kind of really recommend Korra because it's just so convenient that you can mark an enemy and the companion will reliably attack that enemy. The normal companion AI is it just bothers me when there's like nice enemies grouped up and then the companion is like, nope, I'm just going to turn away and attack that one guy in the corner. And then the whole chain reaction doesn't happen and I'm just sitting there be like, why do Kabats in this game have to be like real life cats? Why do they just 100% not care about what you want from them? Yeah. That is kind of a thing. Ooh, you got a Hildren and paired with Dante. If you get paired with Dante, that is the fast ticket to victory, not gonna lie. That is really, really, really good. Dante is just, even just as a Spectre, right? Dante is just so amazing. You have beef with this one guy? No beef here. Our stream is Hindu. We don't have beef. We don't have beef. That's not happening here. We're all chill. Calervopathesis. Mister, that's nice. So yeah, by the way, I would suggest, now before we do the Elite Archimedia, let me also take a look at what we have in the normal Archimedia. Which key do you use to mark enemy? With Korra, you use her third ability, just tap it, and then it will mark the enemy to be attacked. Only works for Venari on Korra, though. Normal companions can't directly be interacted with, unfortunately, which is really a shame. I wish that was possible. So let's take a look at what we have in the normal Archimedia. Tank level 5,000 kills you wanted. I'm honestly, because of the tank and all like the AoE that's happening in the second phase, I'm kind of thinking if I should just Revenant it, just be chill, read some chat, you know what I mean? That's kind of the problem, right? If you want to read chat and play Archimedia, you kind of gotta do Revenant. What we have here, we have. I really do not own Daggett. Did I really just throw away my one copy of Daggett for the Subzoom? I can't believe it. Holy cow. Valkyr, Daggett, Titania. And we have, okay. Now, if you need Stila, you know, this resource that drops here, this assassination mission is, mwah, you're gonna get so many of that. But not gonna lie, that selection is kind of not my taste all that much. What is my opinion on Arcane Arachne? I have to look up what that even was. Sorry. I remember the name. I think it was it a Warframe Arcane? Yes. What does it do? On wall edge damage. I think it can be useful. Especially if you don't have all that many arcanes, you might just use that to get some damage. But I'm gonna be real, I think I once saw a Nightmare Frame video where he used that arcane for like some really specific stuff, and that was kind of busted. But I would say it's probably a more specialized one. If you have some of the more generalized arcanes, I would probably recommend rather going for them. But I know there's something you can do with it. I'm not 100% sure right now. All right. I would say let's do some Archimedia. It is mirror defense. Why, brother? Why mirror defense? That is so painful. I kind of don't want to do it. I'm going to be real. I kind of don't want to do it. This is just too painful for me. If mirror defense, why don't they put it at least in the first one? So if it just fails, it's fine. Because the thing is, my builds on all these frames are kind of garbage. So I gotta play something else. But... You know what? How about we do the Temporal Archimedia first? They're evil, that's why. Yeah, Farscape, that is why. Silly, you have a small question about the recent Dante build. Is it okay if we go with 5 Tau Forged Red, or is Amber, is that what's recommended? For Dante, Amber Red. Let me quickly revisit my Dante build. Yeah, that's why. The reason why I use the orange ones is because they give you crit chance, and that is for your secondary weapon, because my build was based on the Noctua being actually used as a secondary weapon. So that was a nice way to amp up the crit. That was actually, I put those 5 orange ones on him actually day 1, because I wanted to do a Noctua build day 1 when it came out. Also did that in my day 1 video. But you can, of course, totally also go with the red ones if you don't have the orange ones. You're not going to have as much crit, but therefore you're going to have more ability strength, which will come in handy with the rest of the build. So I would say it's probably just personal preference. If you don't want to invest 5 freaking orange ones, then don't do it. To be fair, one of the reasons why I did the orange ones is because it looks nicer in the video, not going to lie. I just like myself some good red big numbers, but... probably, especially for the support value of Dante, it's probably even a bit more better to go with the red ones, because that also means you get more of the buff and more of the overguard and all that stuff. It's fine. It's totally fine. Tau yellow for the casting speed, almost mandatory. Yep. Casting speed is mandatory, and because I have the orange ones, I went for... What are we at here? Nope. Yeah, I went for natural talent in the mod slot for that. But I can totally see that if you wanted to use a mod instead, you would go at least 1 Tau Forged Yellow for the casting speed. Otherwise, Dante is hella cringe to play, not gonna lie. Looking for EDA, Mesa ready to go. Ooh, Geek Dad. Mesa EDA. That sounds kind of good. I would say let's start with the Temporal, and when we get to EDA, I would like to have your Mesa on the team to just obliterate everything in mirror defense before it can even deal damage. That'd be kind of cool. Smetty, welcome to the stream. Nice that you made it. How you doing? Well, I'm running into the wall. Hope you're having a good one. I saw you went live yesterday, but I kind of was busy sort of administrating all the, stuff that comes with the affiliate status. But yeah, I really appreciate that you also left one of the founder subs. Hope you're gonna bear that, like that first badge thingy for a long time and be happy with it. Fast travel, Kaya Valesco. So, Temporal Archimedia. We gotta go with... I'm gonna go Revenant, so I can read chat and not have to concentrate on the game, even though I gotta say Cyto 9 is kind of nice. And then we have the Cedo and Catabolist, yeah, whatever. The other weapons, I don't have them built, really. Equipment Arsenal, Rev, Kablooey. You try the new feature on Noctua. Woden, what do you mean with the new feature on Noctua? Gunrunner with Roar. Kind of looks alright. Gonna use that build on him. And then we have the Cedo Pedime. Where we go with the Old Fine, no. We'll go with that and with no, we're doing Skuldra, right? Yeah. So we're not gonna do with on Toxin status. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Boom. Dead Meme, I helped you so much when you started the game. I'm so happy that my videos were helpful. After all, that's what I'm here for, right? Do I know, Rolk, do I know about the Blast Zata's Whisper interaction? Yeah, Blast kind of re-triggers Zata's Whisper, doesn't it? Like, I know there was something. I haven't really looked into it all that much, but Blast does a lot of funky stuff. Like, Blast not only does Zata's Whisper shenanigans, but there are also other things that Blast can do, which is kind of funky. What do you think about the Nell Prime Ant Colony? I haven't really tried it, gotta be real with you, but I know that it can be pretty decent. Echo Engraven, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the crew, really appreciate it. Let's quickly see which weapons we had for the Temporal Archimedia. We had the Twin Raga, and didn't they say they wanted to make it that you can just equip your stuff from this screen so you don't have to go back and forth? Let's just go with the Skindo and the Twin Raga. I can keep those names in mind. Boom. And the Skindo. Hello there, Prophet Skills. Welcome to the chat. Hope you have a beautiful Wednesday evening, morning, night, afternoon, when and wherever you are. As a thank you for being a huge influence on my Warframe journey, learned the game from you. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm happy that I could help you into the game. I mean, you know, as I just said, that's basically what I'm here for. And I'm happy that so many of you come here and really appreciate my work. Really honestly means a lot. Not just saying that. It's kind of all right. We are going with this, that. Anything else I haven't done yet? No, we have all of that. Boom, 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 boom. That's nice. Okay. I'm liking energy tanking on Nidus. Energy tanking is so underrated. Gotta be real. Energy tanking is... I really like this. Energy tanking is... It's actually kind of nice. Technic, my Harrow video carried you to a level cap. Well, you're welcome. Harrow is honestly really good. I love Harrow. You know, I run a lot of solo stuff in Warframe, and Harrow is one of the best solo frames in the entire game. Kind of pain if you play in a team, especially with randoms, but therefore in solo he's just unbeatable. Oh boy. Taha, hi Blacky, how are you? I'm almost close to finishing the normal star chart. Any advice? Taha, welcome to the stream. I'm fine, thank you for asking. Advice for finishing the normal star chart. Does that mean you have like just the physical star chart done, or you're really done with the entire storyline, like done everything until after the 1999 quest? Because after the star chart, I think not all that much changes. It just, you know, continues with the Sanctum Anatomica quest, and then you have the 1999 quest, and both of them have sort of their own tile sets that you also have to get through. But my personal recommendation would be, after you're finishing the entire story, like once you can finish 100% of all the mission nodes in the game, and thereby unlock arbitrations and unlock galvanized mods, that will be the first thing that I would focus on, right? Going through the entire story, finish every single mission to unlock the arbitration, then do a couple of arbitrations, get those Vitus Essences. Vitus Essences? No. What were the things called again? Like those drops that you get from the arbitrations, and get yourself some good galvanized mods, because if you go into Steel Path without having galvanized mods, you're in for a really bad time. Not gonna lie. Steel Path without galvanized mods, It's Vitus Essence? Okay, thanks, Medi. So yeah, that's kind of it. Definitely make sure that have the good galvanized mods before going Steel Path, because you're gonna hate your life if you do Steel Path without it. Hypergame 5, do you need to do Sanctum now for the arbitrations? I think you need to. I think for the arbitrations, if I'm not What? What? Keep up the great streams. Question, does your Nautilus free support build proc Arcane Ice Storm trying out for Frost? Joshua, first of all, thank you so much for the 3. Appreciate the generosity. Last time I tested, unfortunately, companions do not trigger Arcane Ice Storm, which is one of the biggest downsides of Arcane Ice Storm. Really hate that. You yourself can trigger it with your weapons and everything, but your companions, as far as I know, not. If they can, and somebody in chat, if you know otherwise, you might point it out now. If they all of a sudden can, then that was a recent change. Last time I checked, it unfortunately does not work. And that is why I don't use Arcane Ice Storm on most of my builds, because it would just be too amazing to get 40% strength and 40% duration without having to do anything. Can Venari is an ability. Sunny Boy, I'm not sure, I haven't tested that, but the problem with Arcane Ice Storm is that you need to fully freeze the enemies, and that means Venari would have to proc 10 procs just to get 1 stack on Arcane Ice Storm. And even if the enemy dies and then the status spreads, the status spread is only 50%, which would mean that I think honestly it's kind of cringe to keep up 40 stacks on Arcane Ice Storm on just Venari, even if it would work. I rather have it on like a Tazakor or something on a Sentinel. I think Venari is not going to be all that amazing. Wade Brown, love your videos, mate. Wade, love that you're being here and having a good time. Welcome to the stream. 8 Bullet, hello to you too. Now, before we do anything, right, we're just going to unlock that. I finally want to play a little bit. Already been sitting here for like 42 minutes not doing anything. Yeah, Shivering Contagion, Voidborn. Does Shivering Contagion work? Does the taxon with Shivering Contagion do that? Pulpy Daddy, what's the best helmet option for Gauss? I would have to check back what I tested in my Gauss video, but I honestly think Gauss is one of those few frames who are just really good without a helmet. But of course, you know, the standard stuff, what's it called? Mirage Eclipse for the tankiness, Roar for the damage, Grendel's Nourish, everything, right? That always works. Good idea, Expressive Pumpkin. Secondary build Epitaph with new Arcane that gives you crit chance. Do you mean secondary Innovate? Yeah, might actually work. I mean, the Epitaph already has some crazy single target damage. You could get more out of it. But let me first invite some people for the Archimedia. Sorry for that. Sorry for the delay. I'm in solo mode. Okay, got it. Invite. There's a new mod tease that gives a lot of bunch of ability, strength, and duration. My question is actually becoming a thing. Do you think a lot of loadouts would be better and broken? If we had a mod that gives a lot of ability, strength, and duration at the same time, kind of like a mod version of Arcane Ice Storm, if that's not Omega cringe to trigger, if that is just like a dual stat mod that is really good, I think it would change a lot of loadouts, because even if it has less strength than something like Transient Fortitude, you know, the fact that you get duration and strength at the same time, I think that would help a lot of builds. But I haven't like specifically seen anything about that yet. And when it's like actual leaks, I'd rather just not talk about it and wait for them to tell us what's happening. So, yeah, I really, when I saw it's like legit leaks, I was not really willing to look into it, right? An anonymous gifter has Moldy Bread Prime gifted a sub. Thank you so much, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, for your generosity. Really appreciate it. So we're still missing somebody. Is Sunny Boy there? Sunny Boy's there. Fuzzy Rock is there. Invite. Andre, you're farming for Wisp Prime as your first Prime. Good or bad idea? I'm gonna be real. Wisp is She got them assets, if you know what I mean. But no, like Wisp is one of the best frames in the game. Made a video on her already showing that she has crazy potential, like her damage output, her survivability, her convenience. Like she is legit one of the best frames in the game. And if you choose her to be your first Prime, I would definitely say go for it. Don't have any hesitation there. Just completely go for it. You're gonna have a great old time. Let's begin some research. Wisp Prime is best Prime. Is that an all account of you, Moog? Huh? Just kidding. Hog Gamer, how do I feel about the Coda weapons? Still didn't get to get any of them, unfortunately. Honestly, I just talk way too much on those streams, right? I feel like I'm just... You know those streamers who are just sitting there, like staring at the screen, and like every 5 minutes they go one quick peek at the chat and they're like, hype, YOLO, lol, 69. Wish you a good day. Yeah, we're cycling. We're Revenant. There's Tech Rod. You know those streamers who are like just not talking at all, just completely like playing the game? What? Mesmer Skin protect me, I need to read a chat message. 11:35. Holy cow, Lord MacGyver. Hey kiddo, I started the game 10 years ago. You are a veteran, just like me. Appreciate that. Mesmer Skin coming in clutch right now. Sorry for the team. You've been playing on and off, and you're happy that you found my video. Taught me a lot. Thanks, man. Always remember rap, tap, tap. You mean, rap, tap, tap, kiddo. I want to scare the enemies away. Just kidding. No, really, thank you so much for your generosity. Really, really appreciate it, man. I'm glad that I could help you get back into the game and enjoy it and everything. Really, really appreciate it. Whimsical Chess, ASMR frame is coming in clutch here, right? If you have a somewhat decent microphone, all you really need to do is just turn the volume up all the way and just whisper in it. Everybody can do ASMR, right? ASMR is something that is not special to pretty looking girls on Twitch. Everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. You might be shocked to hear it, but you don't need to be good looking for ASMR. Kinda has to do with sound. I just found out that we're playing Exterminate. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm so distracted by all you just overwhelming me with your generosity. Like I'm just like whatever. I just be like, press Mesmer Skin, rechat. Oh boy. What do you think about the Man in the Wall? I'm actually kind of curious because Man in the Wall is like one entity that has always been part of the Warframe storyline, kind of. And we've never really gotten to a point where we truly understand who the Man in the Wall actually is, right? And there are some fan theories going on about the Man in the Wall being a manifestation of the Void itself. And that was a little bit plausible, not gonna lie. I think that was plausible. But I would love to get like some confirmed lore on what's going on. And I kind of have a bit of a hope that with the end of the Entrati story, maybe also with the next chapter already, we might know more about him. Like, honestly, I'm kind of excited because Man in the Wall is just a big, big mystery. You got Ash Prime and he low-key feels bad. The thing with Ash Prime is, or with Ash in general is, Ash deals a whole intercourse ton of damage. Keeping it family friendly here. But the thing is, the attack speed is really a bit of an issue. Even if you mod attack speed on the Exalted, you're just not getting kills as fast as you would like. That is kind of the problem. You might deal like 500 million damage in one hit, which is nice, but it's not nice if you just get like 30 kills a minute with that. And that's a bit of an issue, and I can totally see why you would just prefer weapon platform Warframes instead. I think Ash is a vibe frame, right? I think Ash is a vibe frame, and I would kill a man to get the Ash Prime helmet as an available customization option for every single Warframe. I think, not gonna lie, I think out of all the Warframe fashion, Ash Prime helmet is legit the most beautiful helmet that you could ever put on any Warframe. It is just, it is just so good. It's weirdly slow. Yeah, that's the thing. That's unfortunately the thing. You can go with like Berserker Fury, or like go with a lot of, or at least a bit of melee attack speed that already speeds it up. But it's never going to get like 100 plus kills per minute if you just use the 4. That's unfortunate. Mr. Hand, it bugs as well. That's unfortunate. Never bugged out for me though. But yeah, I could imagine that. It's kind of like, he's good for the big screenshot damage. Let's just put it that way. Did I even get the bad ending for Flare? Haven't really done much of the Kim system, to be honest. I was kind of already, kind of still in the process of making Eleanor hate me. Honestly, I feel like for most of the cast, right, when you chat with them, it's pretty straightforward what you should say and what you shouldn't say. But with Eleanor, man, holy cow. You just think that you say something nice, and then she's like, I hate life, I hate you, I don't want to talk to you anymore, duh. Kinda a bit sad. Kinda a bit more realistic there. Oh, buddy.
I think we need to gather more evidence.
Wild, yes. Yes, Ash is S+ tier for Simulacrum Warriors, that is true. And I do kind of consider myself a little bit of a Simulacrum Warrior myself. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. I like Simulacrum, I like big numbers. But I agree with that. There are a lot of situations where Ash just, at least if you play him purely into his 4, is not that omega amazing. Everybody waiting for me. Of course, everybody waiting for me. What's my third ability? I have Subsumed Roar from Rhino over the third ability with Revenant. Because this is my Gunrunner platform, and I just like that. It's very universal. You can use it on basically everything. But I also have a Revenant video over on my YouTube channel. I keep saying that because I'm so proud. We got a blue Archon Shard. Nice. It's not red, but at least it is not yellow. At least that damn... We got a red one! Space Mom coming in clutch here. Space Mom really being generous today. Thank you so much. What are we even doing here? Oh yeah, Legicide Harvest. Alright, we got this. That's fine. The tank is going to be the issue, not the Legicide. Eight Bullet, what? You're watching the stream and playing Korra without shield gating? I'm going to be real, shield gating on Korra is actually pretty cool, because if you have enough Augur mods, then your Whip Claw just keeps you alive forever. But I just like health tanking, it's just comfy. I just like to go and Mirage Eclipse absolutely everything and be like, you're a health tank now. I do not want to pay attention to my shield, thank you. But I get it, right? The technically optimal way to play Korra and Steel Path is shield gating, especially on very high levels. And that is something that Nautilus should have done. Then he wouldn't have died. I should try Limbo. I completely agree. I have always kind of just ignored Limbo's existence, except when I was just farming containers. Then Limbo's 4 is really good to just pop all the containers and pick up the loot. But that's kind of like the only thing that I ever used Limbo for. Not gonna lie. I think the man deserves a little bit more love, and we're gonna get to that. Oh, there was the greenie. Oh, we have the Warframe ASMR again. Honestly, the ASMR from the Lego side is kind of hilarious. You know what I kind of find sad? Why did I subzoom over the 3? I would really love to just use my 3 on the Lego side, see if that deals a lot of damage. I'd just love to try that. Funny magic, man, that can send you into the void. Yes, Limbo can send... Limbo is like the nemesis of toxic Warframe players. Like, if you have somebody who gets angry really quickly, just make a roll in front of them all the time. And they're gonna be so mad. Not encouraging that, though, right? If you're just really trolling with Limbo, that's kind of sad. Please don't do that. Please be nice to others. What about Neja? Neja is really darn strong. Another frame that I haven't done a full build on yet. But I think I have had Neja in one of my top 10 lists. I was not sure in which one, though. I think Neja is really good, though. By the way, if I'm just shooting at a wall constantly while aiming, that's when I read chat. Just so you know. I'm skilly shooting, but I'm not skilly shooting that hard. The Tick, he is. Neja is your main. Well, I can totally understand that. I can totally understand that. Especially with that one augment that just lets you nuke the entire room. That got nerfed in range at some point, but is still pretty strong. Someone was previously asking if a mod that would give you strength and duration at the same time would be busted. Let me tell you what's really busted. Let me keep it 100% real. What would be really busted is another mod that gives you ability strength or an ability range or an arcane. Something that gives you more ability range so that you are not capped at 280% anymore. I think this is one of the things that DE is most afraid of putting into the game because so many things would be really broken if we had even more ability range, and I would totally love that. I would be totally up for that. Where's the man? Equinox more range. Yes. Yes. Why not? Oh, there you go. I love how the HP bar just doesn't care about the damage. It's just like, I don't move. Can I please reload? Wait, did that... Where's my... Oh, I ran out of ammo. That's not good. That's a bit cringe. Because my Skindo is not built. Archon Shard, Mr. Ali. Archon Shard with range. That would be hilarious. Honestly, I would take anything for more range.
Welcome, Tenno. Our numbers grow.
Aaron, welcome to the crew. Thank you for your Prime sub. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday. I'm not, because I only have 4 shots with my Cedo. 40 shots with my Cedo. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Don't you dare.
What do I consider the best troll frame? Probably either Limbo or Nova, right? Nova with the portals is also kind of fun, kind of hilarious. Yeah. Or Loki when you like switch positions. That's also kind of hilarious. One of these 3, I would say. Chicken Teriyaki, nice to see you. How am I? I'm doing pretty darn well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're doing well too. I was actually really ballsy, right? For anyone who does not know the lore of the MHBlacky live streams, Chicken Teriyaki, if you go into Archimedia without Chicken Teriyaki, that's actually a huge gamble. Because you might just all get team wiped and then you need somebody to, you know, save the whole thing and get it back home. And Chicken Teriyaki is currently not part of the squad. So we're going in risky, baby. Really risky. Exactly, Praying Hand. The legend, the man, Chicken Teriyaki is here. Best way to do the chicken in the teriyaki style. By the way, did you know that in Japan, there is a chicken teriyaki burger available at McDonald's that you only get in Japan? That's actually kind of nice. I like that. Zero, how can you increase your speed as Excalibur Umbra? If you're looking at the movement speed, there are a lot of mods for movement speed, or parkour velocity, or sprint speed. Jim, do you spam ability strength or pink shards for the crit damage on melee? Ah, that's a good one. That is a real good one. I would say that depends on if you're using Wrathful Advance on your Varuna. If you're using Wrathful Advance, I would probably go for the crit damage, because then you're going to have red crits all the time, and red crits are really nice if you have more crit damage. If you're not going Wrathful Advance, but you rather go something like Roar, I think Ability Strength might be better, because Roar benefits from the Ability Strength and not from the melee crit damage. I would say, like, without having done the math right now, correct me if I'm wrong, I would say this is kind of the way to go, right? If you go for Wrathful Advance, if you go big red crit, then you want to have the crit damage. If not, then it really depends on your helmet ability. If that helmet ability is good with a lot of strength, then red shards would probably be my preference.
Welcome, Tenno.
Chicken Teriyaki, yo! Chicken Teriyaki was like, nah, brother. Not gonna happen. We're not gonna do an Archimedia here without me at least being on screen for 1 second. Thank you so much for your generous contribution to the Orb Velas, my friend. MLG Lotus really 100% does approve that. Yeah, she does. Gotta pull out the MLG glasses here. OG legend. That's true. I'm just figuring out that I don't see a lot with those glasses on right now. They're polarized. Whenever you look at a screen with it, it's just kind of funky. Thank you, by the way, for not giving me another Archon Shard. Because who needs Archon Shards, right, baby? We're just in here for the arcanes. We're just in here for the... No, we do not need any red Archon Shards. That is a lie. That is misinformation. You don't know what to write. Do you miss the animated trailer, Hog? I like the animated trailers, but the thing with the animated trailers is, right, if you look at it from... I know it sounds boring now, right? But if you look at it from a business perspective, I think they kind of don't pay off, right? Let me be 100% real. I think the animated trailers, not the normal Prime trailers, they might be fine, but the animated trailers, like for Styanax, they don't pay off from a business side. Because they either take a lot of working hours from the team themselves to animate it, or they need to pay a studio to do that for them. And I don't think that the financial investment needed to make one of these trailers is really being offset by more sales from the frame. I don't think that they're going to sell so many more Styanaxes just because of the animated trailer than they would without. And that is why I think having the animated trailer in the first place as just a cool thing is really, really nice. And I really, really appreciate that. But if I'm not completely wrong with my suspicion here with the financials, I think it's not profitable to do that for them as a company. Which is sad, but I think that's how it is. And that's why it makes it even more special that we got to have them in the first place. What's going on Twitch? What's going on Twitch? Something happened with Twitch chat. Was there a spam or something happening? Can somebody please tell me what's going on with the Twitch chat? Because I have not noticed that. Is this your gameplay or am I playing a video? Prior scale, right? Prior soul, sorry. If this was a video, I would probably hit some of those shots, right? I'm gonna be real. If I were playing a video in the background, I would probably hit more of those shots. Spam. Okay, Mr. Ali, thank you for informing me. It finally happened. It finally happened. The spam happened, but it's fine. We're just gonna keep it civil here. Not gonna get distracted. Yon, what's my favorite Coda weapon? Unfortunately, I do not have had the time to farm a single one of them, so I can't tell, but I probably suspect I will like the Synapse, because I have a good ribbon for it. Or the Mire, because it's probably one of the best ones. But I have yet to try all of them out, so I can't really tell just yet. What am I doing here, by the way? Chicken Teriyaki, you gotta go. No problem, man. Nice that you tuned in. Thank you again so much for your sub, for your generosity, and for tuning in. Wish you a nice evening. Hope to see you soon. See you next time. I wait to get them on 60%. No, that's not it, unfortunately. It's just that I was so busy with the... Honus with the Prime, thank you so much. Honus, welcome to the crew. No, I'm not waiting for the 60% ones. I was just so busy with all the video making, content creating, and also like setting up the whole live streaming stuff that I just haven't had the time to simply play the game. That's the unfortunate truth about it. That is the unfortunate truth about it. Let's get some tank action, shall we? What today's sponsor, World of Tanks. Just kidding. I wish, but no. Wasps, which one is the best Warframe and why is it mag? The reason that the best Warframe is mag is that Revenant likes to cosplay as mag. And that's why a lot of people believe that the best Warframe is mag, when in reality, it's just Revenant cosplaying as mag. I think that is about the reason. Why didn't I drop the thingy? What do I think of Korra Prime? Dylan, we actually talked about Korra Prime at the beginning of the stream. You can check it out in the VOD later. I think Korra is a very strong frame. I think playing melee influence on her is a crime. And I think Venari is much stronger than she has any right to be. I'm just going to say that. And I'm going to say that this week we're going to have a Korra build on the YouTube channel. So that will answer more of the questions. Miss Rosie, you think I misspelled Nova and Wisp? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh boy. No, I'm gonna keep it 100% real. I totally agree to the statement that there is no one best Warframe. But if I wanna spark a little controversy, I'm just gonna say it's Revenant. Because I love the man, and I think he is the most broken frame in the game. And that's just it. By the way, beautiful Hildren. Very bling.
I'm picking up some strange readings. What just happened?
Linnet, if you mod Fulman correctly, can you actually survive on Steel Path? Depends. I mean, the Fulman has nothing to do with survival, obviously, but Fulman, yeah, sure. Fulman can do a lot of damage. Dragon Bro has one entire ability. Yeah, never underestimate the one ability. Hey, can I pick that? Thank you. Kablooey. Oh, Tanky Boy is angry. Am I out of ammo again? No. Just wait till Varuna Prime comes out. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm curious as to how the look of Varuna Prime will be. Frog in the car. Yes, I can totally showcase my Cedo build. I can show you after the mission is concluding. But if you want to see it right away, I do have a video on the Cedo Prime over on my YouTube channel. So there you will probably also find the exact build that I'm running right now. Cedo Prime is just overall a really, really good weapon. Kids, Swasdulateno, early lunch, huh? I just wanted to say that I really love your videos and builds. Maybe not all of them. That's real. All right, I appreciate the realness. I appreciate that. Not all of them. I appreciate that because that just shows that you're honest. Let's keep it 100% real. Nobody will like all of my builds. Currently trying to make the Dante build. Well, wish you so much success and fun with the Dante build. There's a lot of ways to build Dante. I just like the Noctua as a weapon. But I appreciate for you checking out the stream. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Oh, let's shoot some rockets at that thing. Who stole a rocket launcher? Yep. Totally agree with Wasps. I love Mag too. I really do. I appreciate her. No way. Those launchers are out of reach. Damn. But Dante is like, he's just next level, right? So much overguard, so much support potential, and also the damage output. My god, the damage output. By the way, thank you to Team for carrying this entire thing while I just played chat reading 101. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I did anything to help this mission. Maybe the roar a little bit, right? Maybe the roar. but like thanks to the team. That was a big team effort.
Now the real fun begins.
Ember Eye, thanks for tuning in. You have some build thingies some build ideas to spark my curiosity. Well, tell me more. Tell me more. Wasps, yes, the worst thing about Dante is the skin. I kind of think Dante has his own like special look, but it also doesn't vibe all too much with me. I like the owl aesthetic, right? But yeah, you know what I mean. I know what you mean. Ricochet, welcome to the stream. Have a good Wednesday. Nice that you tune in. Who do y'all think will be the next Prime Warframe? I think it's going to be Yarly. And I think I'm going to lose my freaking mind if this game stops giving me Archon Shards for much longer. Thank you for Arcane Hotshot, but that is not what I wanted. That is 100% not what I wanted. Also, the Omni format, good to have, but... Anyway, thank you so much to the team for making all that happen while I was effectively contributing nothing. You know what you sign up for when you come to the stream. You know you got to carry my ass because I'm just about as useful as a brick wall. Not talking about Corvex's 2, by the way, like an actual brick wall that does not do anything. So I'm gonna go and leave this squad, and now we're gonna do the other Archimedia, which is gonna be painful because there's gonna be mirror defense. And I remember there were a couple of you who said that they have frames in their rotation that could help with the mirror defense. And I would appreciate if anyone who has something that helps with the mirror defense, if you were willing to join, that would be cool. Because mirror defense is a crime to humanity. I'm dumb. You have Limbo if you want. I mean, Limbo at least protects the thing. If you don't go for like too much range, that is. So, where are we? Sanctum Anatomica. What I could do though, is I could play, instead of Revenant, I could go and play my Protea, the one that I did last time. Works kind of okay for the defense part. Not sure if she's going to be able to properly survive the boss fight, but I think it's going to be alright. Citrine Prime kit, yeah. Citrine, that would be lovely. That would be really, really lovely. So, anyone of the people who are still here in the list wanting to do the Archimedia, I'm just gonna invite. Gara helps, yes. Balsamud, Gara does help. That's true. Leah, why do you just receive a notification? I do not know. I do not know. YouTube sometimes does its weird things. Oh, Lord MacGyver, your first time in Deep Archimedia, not even EDA, you were solo, was a bad time. Yeah, I totally see that. Solo Archimedia is a little bit of a pain. Gotta keep it real, a little bit of a pain. So we have Dark Slayer.
Welcome, Tenno.
Ace of Cade, thank you so much for your MLG Lotus Prime sub. That's how we do it, baby. Welcome to the crew. Thank you so much. Can Archimedia, Flame Wolf, can Archimedia give you Warframes and weapons that you don't have? Nope. I mean, yes. I mean, in the selections, yes, it can give you stuff that you don't have. That is the unfortunate thing. So you really want to have a wide account if you want to be able to do all of it all the time. That's the thing. I even have in this week's Archimedia, I can show you. Where the heck am I? I have Daggith, and it just so turns out to be that I sacrificed my Daggith to the Helmet, and that's why I don't have her, but she's still there. So if you want to be able to do all the stuff all the time, then you really gotta have it all. Like, this is something for endgame in the sense that not only do you need your loadout to be strong, but you also need to have, like, everything if you want to do the maxed out thing all the time. I just saw that we have Sarata. Let me quickly change my loadout. Let me quickly change my loadout before we do anything here. Who do we have? We have Wisp, we have Corvex, we have Nezha. You know what? If that is the case, I'm going to go with Protea. I'm going to just go with defense Protea like last week. She went well. She worked well. Not with that build, though. Not with that build. With that. Yeah, that's nice. And then we have the Sarata, which I have not built. So that's not good. That's not good. Which other weapons did we have? Oh, Gorgon. That's good. I have a Gorgon. I have a good Gorgon. Gorgon was one of my all-time loves. The good old Prisma Gorgon. Who doesn't love it? Let's go for Radiation and Murmur. Galvanized Chamber, Scope, Thermite Rounds, blah, blah. That's an old build, by the way. And I want to go with Primary Merciless because Murmur are pain to headshot. Point Strike, Vital Sense, Galvanized Scope. Why do I have Galvanized? I don't know. I think it'll do. I'm going to be real. I think it'll do. It'll do just fine. What else do we need? We need the Embolist. I have the Embolist. That's cool. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna pick some crap. Embolist. And Serato's really good, but I haven't built it, so I'm not gonna rely on it. And then we go with the... No, we don't go Nautilus, because I do not want Nautilus to be sucked in. I'm gonna go with the Panzerwelpefiler. And I think I should be set.
Welcome, Tenno. Our
Let's unlock
numbers
that.
grow.
Boom. Begin research. Azrag, welcome to the crew. Thank you so much for your Prime sub. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. Beautiful Wednesday. I was just like, what? Let's go with the... Why is somebody missing? Who's missing? Slayer and Nova. Metal Twig, nice to see you again. Welcome to the stream. Oh, Sunnyboy, yeah, and Naro's Gorgon. That brings back the... You don't have anything really good. Okay, that's fine. Don't sweat it. Just want to have someone for the last slot. Whoever picks up first. How you been? Thanks. I've been doing fine so far. How about you? Hope you had a good Easter time. Okay, there we go. Full squad is assembled. So let's see where we go with this. Let's see where we go with this. Why no do master rank up? Luke, there is actually, unfortunately on YouTube you cannot see it, so I'm not gonna be mad or anything. But a lot of people ask that every time, so I have an FAQ on my Twitch page where it says, I just want to have the golden bling. I just don't want to upgrade to a bronze emblem. I just want to have the golden MR31. What's the best Archimedia team? Well, it always depends on which type of mission you play. That is unfortunately not easy to answer. Speedva and EDA. Yo, that's... If you want to do Speedva and EDA, I don't have enough maximum energy to cast my skills. I legit do not have... I should have read the modifiers. Not gonna lie. I should have read the modifiers. I do not have maximum energy. That's beautiful. That is just beautiful right there. And I don't have operator. Beautiful. Yeah, I think you know what? I think that's just not happening. I think that's just not happening, bro. I think that's just my bad. Should have read what's going on. I think we just retry that with something else, shall we? Let's just retry that with something else, shall we? Because I cannot even use half of my skills. That is embarrassing. Oh boy.
Impressive generosity.
What? Azrag, holy cow, 5 subs? You're just doing this one. You're not even at the strip club. What is going on? Thank you so much. My friend, that really lifts the mood up after being down on the floor for 2 times already. Thank you so much for your generosity. Wow, that's amazing. You're crazy. In the positive way. Just returned to Warframe and my videos helped a lot. Wow, you were gone for 5+ years? Well, no need to pay me back financially, by the way, right? Nobody needs to feel obliged to give me money, right? It's all fully voluntary, and I love you all, but I really appreciate it nonetheless. I'm happy that I could, you know, help you have a better time coming back to the game. I really appreciate that. I hope that you're going to have a long and good looting experience with your return to Warframe, however long it may last. What expressive? You're stuck and you can't load information. I feel that this happens on every stream, kind of. Isn't it like that? I feel that on every stream we have this bug that in the top left corner, the players are like, the overlay is sort of bugged, and it's just kind of sad. I don't know what's going on. I only have that issue ever on stream when I invite people. I'm really sorry. Let's see if we can actually make this happen. Like, let's just pretend that we're not omega screwed by the modifiers. And let's just pretend we're chilling, okay? Let's just pretend everything is fine. Azrag, yeah, you're right. Subs benefit both streamer and people, but I still appreciate it. Still appreciate it. Harley, willkommen bei Clem. Harley, thank you so much for the YouTube membership. Unfortunately, we don't have alerts on stream for the YouTube stuff. Keep saying it every time because setting up the whole YouTube stuff, end of things with the alerts is a pain. But I really appreciate it. Have fun with the emotes, and I appreciate your support. Should make a build on the bow from the... Oh, you mean the Naturug? Oh, the Naturug is really awesome. Naturug is one of the best bows in the game. What? We need to have the shields back up. So that's 1 out of 2, right? Already died 3 times and have 1 out of 2. This is going to be disastrous. I'm going to keep it real. This is just not going to... This is what happens when chicken teriyaki is not there. Oh man, I don't even find the way. Good luck with the assassination technique. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna need it. At least I have my 2. Okay, at least I have my 2. It's not all doom and gloom. I have my 2. I can cast that once. It deals significant portions of damage. I do have equilibrium, so I'm not 100% screwed. Just like 87%. Azrag, what are you one of those people who are like posting on r/finance every day that they're having like a 500k yearly income and don't know what to do with their money? Bro, what is going on, Azrag? You're just... I don't have any words, man. Like, I just thank you, like, honestly, but like, just keep it chill. Like, I really appreciate it on the one hand, but whenever I see somebody just dishing out so much moolah, I'm like, can you really afford that? Should you do that? Or should you maybe just pay off like student debt or something instead? So like, whatever you do, just think of yourself first and then of me. That would be really nice. But nonetheless, the biggest thanks to you, honestly, biggest thanks. Liam Plays and Jaspiz, welcome both of you to the stream. First time chatters. You're 43, you're from Denmark, and you don't have student debt. And I got a pretty decent job. Well, then I'm happy to hear that. As long as it doesn't break the bank for you, I'm not going to complain. No, really appreciate that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Danish social security and pension system is not as omega fucked as the German one, where you're just paying 50% of your income to the state and get nothing for it. So I'm just gonna pretend that you're totally fine, and I'm really happy. Thank you. Prince of Fault, how am I? Thank you so much. I am good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're good as well. Honestly, the Blazer Artillery is coming in clutch here. I did not expect this thing to be so strong. Haven't used it in a while. Sunny Boy, we have health insurance. Okay, yeah, we do have health insurance. For all the Freedom Eagles watching here, we do at least have health insurance. But it's a bit of a pain to be a young person in Germany anyway, because you're paying so much in pension insurance that, like, what you gotta understand here in Germany is we don't have a system like a 401k in the US where you're basically investing money that will be paid out to you when you're old. The German pension system works in a way that the money that the workers are paying into the pot is directly taken out of the pot and given to the old people. There is no system where your payments are invested for you and accumulate wealth that is being paid out to you when you retire. We don't have that. It's just a direct transfer of money from the young to the retired generation. And that is fully working as long as you have more workers than retirees. But guess which country is even close to have more working people than retirees? And that is why, as a young person in Germany, it's kind of a little bit unfortunate. But I don't want to complain. I know I am German, and it's my culture to complain about everything. But let's just change the topic. I'm just getting frustrated otherwise. That's our social system in a nutshell. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Wexley, can I do a video about my fashion frame? Actually, I should do that. That's a good point. I should totally do that. Because I get asked about fashion frame basically under every video, and I should really do that. You're also allowed to complain. Now. Okay, so we successfully, after dying like 5 times, completed the first out of 3 missions, which is the easiest out of 3 missions. And the worst is yet to come. I'm still optimistic though, because I just pretend that everything is going to be fine. I just pretend that I'm not just stuck at 100%, 100 energy, and I'm just pretending that I'm having all of my skills. I just choose to not use them. Wasps, yeah, I know what you mean. The assassination, like, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm probably just gonna spam my shield gate and hope to somehow not die. That's going to be my strategy going into this. That's just going to be the strategy here. No one, how am I? I'm doing perfectly fine. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well too. We got 2 blue ones. And you know what? Blue ones are not red ones. I just wanted to mention that. For anyone who might not have noticed, it's not a red one. Is it possible to solo EDA with Excalibur? Solo hero, if you have some good modifiers and a good build, I think it's possible. I haven't ever tried it myself, but I think it is possible. And technically everything is possible. Yeah, I'm just gonna spam my little grenades here. Because that, I mean, the good thing is at least I can do my slash grenades. And that was the whole reason why I played Protea in the first place for this mission. Because they stagger the enemies and they deal a decent bit of damage. It's just kind of unfortunate if you don't have energy to spam them as much as I'd like to. What? Lion, what? You got, Liar, you got 3 red ones? I envy you. I do. Next time, can you like give some of your drop luck to me, please? I feel like I'm the one who always wishes everybody good loot, but I don't have the good loot myself. Probably should stop wishing you good loot so I get some of the good loot for myself. Am I going to do a Limbo video, Metal Twig? At some point, yes, definitely, because I have criminally underrepresented the man. But I don't know exactly when that will happen. I'm going to keep it 100% real. Do not exactly know. Will I go into psychosis after not getting red shards? Am I not already there? You really think I'm not already there? Chat, do we really think I am a sane person? Do we really think that? Will you farm Circulator, Harley? I'm not sure. I have chosen my Incarnons for this week, but I also think it was nothing that I was super keen on getting. So I'm not sure if we're going to do that or if we're just going to run normal Sanctum Anatomica stuff to get the standing for Bird 3. Gotta check out what does Bird 3 have this week? Yellow, blue, or red? Does Bird 3 have red? Please tell me he has red. Seems like a sane one right now. Expressive pumpkin. You gotta check your glasses. Trya21, happy to see me live. Well, happy to see you live too. Welcome to the stream. Any good Incarnons? I think there are some decent ones. I mean, I have to look at it again, but I think the decent ones for this week I already have them. Just for me personally, though. Why is the duration so insanely long, by the way? Is it a modifier that makes the duration of the defense target longer? Bird has yellow. Didn't Bird have yellow last week already? Like, can Bird just shove the yellow one up in the spot where the sun never shines? I need red. Why is Bird so cruel? You always, right, every time you check, man has yellow. Like, what's wrong? I think Bird 3 is colorblind. Thomas, do I have a favorite frame? Revenant. Why? Because he is broken. And because he makes the game so incredibly easy that it becomes boring. And I just really like playing games that are boring. Like, I'm going to keep it totally real with you, right? I'm going to give you a deep insight into my psychology right now. When I play games for fun, what I usually do is, and I really love this, I don't know why, I really love this comfortable feeling of going into a game, knowing that there is zero challenge and I'm just going to do fine. And I can just easily lay back, press some buttons, have some funky visual effects on screen, and just win without sweating a single drop. And that's what Warframe does for me. Like, I just go in with Revenant, don't die, one-hit everything, and feel good about myself. Same thing in Genshin Impact, right? I play some Genshin Impact, do my dailies, not really much more, honestly. I just do the dailies and then log off again. And also there, I have a really well-invested team that just obliterates absolutely everything. I just do that. I just do that. There's no challenge. It's boring, but I like it. It's comfortable. Agreed. Chain of Lightning, agreed. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It's just really comfortable, right? If I want to, like, sweat or anything, I could buy the new Call of Duty and destroy my keyboard. Not going to pretend that never happened before. Not Genshin Impact, Genshin Impact. Do you have Revenant videos? Hoatu, yes, I do have a Revenant video. I do have 2 Revenant videos, but one's hella old. I wouldn't watch the first one. I would watch last autumn's Revenant video over on my YouTube channel. It is a very fun build. It is a very, very fun build, and it clearly shows that Revenant is more than just being busted. Why is the defense target not here anymore? I didn't notice that. Sorry, team. Sorry, team. Oh, you played since 1.6. Wow, that's much earlier than me. Expressive Pumpkin, that is much earlier than me. I think I started in 3 point something. And I don't want to get too much into the Genshin talk because I'm sure that 95% of you can not really contribute to that discussion. But I like teams that don't use bursts. I currently have a Clorand team, Clorand team with only elemental skills, no burst reliance at all. That obliterates everything. And I'm not going to tell you how much money I gambled away to get there. I'm just not going to say that. Just going to pretend I got lucky. Like with the red Archon Shards. Well, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about money here. You're a gacha addict. That does not sound good. That does not sound good. No one, you're getting Gara. Gara is an excellent frame. Totally agree with that. And my Gorgon just really struggles to do anything. That's kind of low-key embarrassing. Gorgon was one of my best weapons on my account for a long time, and now it doesn't even tickle the enemies. I don't know what the current market prices for Gara Prime are, but I think they shouldn't be all too high. I mean, let's be real, I feel that the market prices for a lot of the weapons in the game, at some point, they were like, for the good weapons, like 300, 400 platinum just for, you know, the weapon. But I think those times are over. I think the times where you would pay 350 plat for a Supra Vandal are over. And that's sad because I have 5 Supra Vandals on my account. And that thing ain't gonna go anywhere near the 100 anymore. That was a hell of a bad investment. That was Black Friday, and not Black Friday. What's that day called in the 30s where the stock market crashed? Was it Black Friday? At least like that was sort of the type of investment environment when I bought 5 Super Vandals. I'm not proud of it. What was 400 plat for Nova Prime? That's insane. But yeah, like back in the day, the primes did cost that much. Oh yeah, also yeah, Balzamud. I'm gonna be real. There was a time where Endo was such a pain to farm that for a maxed out prime mod, you would just like pay 300, 400 platinum. Just because of the Endo, not really because of the mod, just because of the Endo. And nowadays, Endo farming has become so streamlined that it's kind of not even a thing anymore to farm Endo for platinum. I can remember at a time when, when I was farming for most of my platinum, I think a level 10 gold mod was like with 30,000 Endo was worth around 200 plat. So 30,000 Endo essentially were worth 200 platinum. Now it's like, what, 50, 40? It's not even close anymore. Yeah, Sunny Boy, legendary cores as well. Yasu Feeder, blah, 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 you started recently and my channel has been the best source of information. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Have so much fun with your Warframe journey. I'm happy that I could help you into the game. I mean, that's why I'm here after all. And I'm happy that you have a good time with the game. It's a lot. We all know Warframe can be a lot. But once you get into it, you really start enjoying it. And I'm happy for every single one of you that I can make that journey a bit easier for. Nice. Honestly, it is not red. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought that the mirror defense goes as well, but there's still a lot of screw up potential for the boss fight now. So let's just see what's happening. Let's just see what's happening. Yeah, you can safely now put the Fs in the chat. Everybody who wants to indulge my saltiness, put the Fs in the chat. I can take it. I'm just gonna put on my glasses and pretend I can't read it. It's gonna be like, nope, 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 nope. How many yellow shards do I have? Flamed Wolf? We do not talk about that here. We do not talk about that. Can we please not talk about the fact that I have like 30 yellows and nothing for the other ones? Oh boy. Yeah, thank you, Yellow Archon Shards. Just put it on screen even bigger. What? Fierce Brick? You just threw away your max rank Arcane Energize? No way. Please don't tell me you did that. Honestly, if I were you, I'd just send an email to support and ask kindly if they could reset that on your account. Sometimes they do that. Usually they don't want to do all of that because they're like, essentially that's your mess up. But sometimes they're just, if they have time, they just reset your account and give it back to you. So for a max rank Arcane Energize, I would definitely try it. Oh yeah, guess what? We don't have Operator to zip around because of modifiers. Where am I going? Yes, yes, yes. Arcane Energize would sell for like so much. I bought my Arcane Energize for 1,000 platinum back in 2019, 2018, I think. That was crazy. And I think it was definitely worth it at the time. Not going to say it was overpriced. Back in 2019, Arcane Energize was like so needed for every good build. Nowadays, luckily, it's not like that anymore. You're doing that now. I wish you all the best. I hope that the support will be generous and give it back to you. Ah, there we go. Energize was never as good as Flow and Equilibrium. Kinda true. Kinda true. But the thing with Equilibrium is that Equilibrium is only really good with Synth Deconstruct. And back in the day, like 5 years ago, Synth Deconstruct was not all that amazing, to be honest, because you couldn't just prime enemies with your companion all that much. Like, I think having to invest Synth Deconstruct on your companion, make sure that your companion primes the enemies, yada yada yada. I think there is a point to be made that Arcane Energize was just the better and streamlined version of that. Yeah, the companion rework definitely was a lot. Like, companion rework was a big thing. Occucore is a good weapon. See a discussion on the Occucore on YouTube chat right now. Occucore is a very good weapon. I mean, it's the deadliest secondary in Warframe last year. Oh, nope, that's not where it goes. Sorry, team, for being useless yet again. Anyone want to do 60 eyes? Hey, chat, anyone want to do 60 eyes without energy, without operator, without gear? No, just kidding. Please don't do that. Please don't do that to me. I can't handle it. My will is already broken by not having gotten any red shards this week. The fun is coming. Yeah, the fun is coming. It's about as much fun as having your wisdom teeth removed without anesthesia. I probably would rather do that than 60 eyes right now. Yes to it. Not gonna happen. Oh, you can't do 60 in EDA? Didn't know that. Because I never tried, because I like to not have pain. So I didn't know that. Thanks for reminding me. So yeah, let's farm some Stila, shall we? By the way, if you want to farm Stila, then Assassination, Deep Archimedia is the best thing since sliced bread. It's just really that good. And you will probably see why now. Let me quickly drink something before I die here. There we go. Let's bring the shields back up and use the Boom Boom Cannon. The Boom Boom Cannon actually dealing some good damage here, right? Now that's actually like the Boom Boom Cannon being good here. You got this, Praying Hand. Thank you so much. Let's see if we got this then because of the team, not because of me. But may the Stila farm begin. Here we go. First one's being downed. I'm trying. Perfect. I'm gonna try to give you as many of the like shield grenades as possible, because that's, I think, the genuinely only thing I can contribute. Except destroying your frame rate. I also do that for you if you want to. But like, you can see the Stila in the bottom left corner. This is crazy. Like, the Stila farm in this mission is just crazy. Pirate of Power. Yeah, if we were in Deviri, I would totally agree. Unfortunately, this is Deep Archimedia. And that means... I mean, to be honest, if we were to fail a mission, I would only lose on all the blue and yellow Archon Shards, so it wouldn't be as painful. Could be worse. Too late, game froze for a moment. Like, I'm under 60 FPS in Warframe. because of all the rampage here. But I think this is actually kind of solid right now. As long as I keep spamming the shield drones, technically nobody should have an issue with survival. Corvex's also coming in clutch, yeah, that's for sure. Man like Sim, how do you get Archon Shards easily? There are a couple of ways to get Archon Shards. I think the easiest way is to just buy one per week from Bird 3 in the Sanctum Anatomica for just standing. Alternatively, you can do Archon Hunt. That's nowadays also relatively easy. And then the next more difficult step would be Netra Cells. And then come the Archimedias. And the Archimedias are, you know, Archimedia. Easier ways 1990. Oh yeah, there's also the Kim system in 1999. You can also get one from there. That's also pretty easy. True. Yo, the frame rate is just suffering. I'm sure the Twitch and YouTube encoder is also like really suffering right now, but that's all right. I'm willing to sacrifice the encoder for at least one red shard, please. Please. Can we get that? Demon Empress, I don't care. Looks smooth for me because the stream is 60 FPS, but if you usually play at 144 and then it goes down to 60, it feels like you feel that. No, sure, for the stream, the frame rate is good because, you know, the stream is only in 60 FPS, so if the frame rate goes down from 144 to 60, I'm the only one who can see that. But you feel it. Like, with the visual effects on screen, you feel that. Is Hydra just dead? I don't think Hydra is dead. Can I make Meyer good again? I think the Coda Meyer is actually pretty good all by itself. Doesn't need me to be good. Yeah, the thing with Warframe is, with the frame rate, technically my PC would be able to do 144 Hz without DLSS. But I've enabled DLSS anyway because it saves energy by not having the graphics card have to work. Like, it's crazy how much energy cost you can save by just having DLSS on and having your graphics card work at 30% rather than 100 with basically the same visual outcome. And by the way, thank you so much for the team for this great run. We have 400 Stila. That should do for a while. So for everybody who needs Stila, this week's Deep Archimedia has you covered. Stella, okay. Thank you for the reminder, Stella. Now let's see if we get a red one. Chat, let's see if we get the red one. Let's see if we can get the red one. I see a blue one. I mean, at least it's Downforge, but it's kind of not what I wanted. Gotta be real, kind of not what I wanted. What's the best grind frame for long runs? Prince Infinity. It's just like, we got one red this week. I mean, we got lucky with the shard number overall, like, right? Not gonna lie, 6 shards is really, really good. But why just one red? Anyway, could be worse. Could have been like last week. Thank you for the run, team. Really appreciate it. Best farm frame for resources, also 10,000 credit cash. Why did they put a credit cash in the Deep Archimedia pool? Like, why would you do that? It is sad. It is sad. It's good but not great. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. It's good but not great. So, Bird says he has a yellow one, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? How about we're not doing the yellow one? How about we're not doing the yellow one? Thanks again for the run. You're doing Deviri right now. We could take a look at Deviri. Let me just get home for a second. Fur, can I show my Revenant Prime build? I have a YouTube video explaining that in detail. I've showed the Revenant Prime already a lot on stream, so I mean, I can technically give you a quick overview. Revenant Prime, Gunrunner build, Reeve build. I don't know what that build was. I don't know what that build was. I don't know what that build was. Usually I play this build right here. How do you unlock Steel Path? Steel Path, you gotta have every mission node in the entire game finished, and then you should be able to access that. LR1 is waiting. Guess what? We're gonna let LR1 wait a little bit more until we can go LR3 right away. Also arbitrate, exactly. Steel Path and arbitrations unlock in the same way. Is Bolter Prime still good? Yeah, I would say Bolter Prime is good. Not really by itself, but you can get an Incarnate Adapter later on in the Duviri circuit. And the Incarnate Adapter makes it really good. Like, in general, all Incarnate weapons are the best weapon class in the game. And since the Bolter has access to that, it's a good weapon. Like, if you have a Bolter Prime, you can definitely invest into that, knowing that at some point you're going to get the Incarnate Adapter and it's going to be really, really good. Why is Revenant Prime so good? Check out my video on YouTube about Revenant Prime. You're going to see. I promise you're going to see. By the way, remember when on that one stream I showcased Revenant just one-hitting everything? That, by the way, also works for Eximus units. That Reeve build that one-hits everything also works on overguarded Eximus units. Also one-hits them. No mercy. Just wanted to add that because, you know, it is Revenant. You're Mastery Rank 19, Mustafa. Which weapon should you use? MR 19. At that point, you basically have access to every weapon in the game, right? So, technically, if you have unlocked Incarnon weapons, then I would say Fenmore, Torrid Incarnon, Burst on Prime Incarnon. These are technically, I would say, the trio that is really, really good. And you have access to that at MR19. Before we go into the Duviri circuit, though, I need to go to the toilet for 2 minutes. And I will be back very, very soon. Don't you go away, or I'm going to send Clem after you. And I'm going to be back very shortly, and then we're going to do a little bit of Duviri fun. Yo, 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 yo. There we are back. To everybody who left. Clem. Yo, Clem. I heard somebody left. Yeah, I'm going to send you the address on WhatsApp. And you just please bring him to the stalker right away. Okay? All right. So, now that we've taken care of those blasphemous people who left the stream while I was on the toilet, let's actually get back to some business, shall we? Hello to everybody who joined in the meantime. Thank you for not going away. And before we go into the Deviri circuit, let's actually see what we have this week, by the way. I saw one question in chat. I don't remember who said it, but I saw one question that actually was really good, and that's why I want to talk about it real quick. Don't forget to hydrate. Look at this here. I am fully covered. So the one question that I saw in chat that I definitely wanted to answer was somebody was asking how strong they need to be in order to do their first Archon hunt. And I think that's a brilliant question. And I want to extend that question to not only the Archon hunt, but whenever you do a seemingly more difficult game mode for the first time, and you're wondering how strong you need to be in order to actually do that, the answer is usually just don't die. Just use something where you don't die. And the rest, the team's going to get you, the team's going to have you covered. And what I mean by that is that when it comes to damage output, like legitimately, I mean this genuinely, when it comes to damage output, everything in the game is usually not so difficult that not one player could do it alone. Like, when you play with randoms, you don't even need to be in a pre-made team. When you play with randoms, there's always going to be that one guy who can solo carry the entire game mode. The entire sortie, the entire Deep Archimedia. Well, Deep Archimedia maybe not so much, but like the entire Archon hunt, the entire sortie, the entire arbitration. There's always that one guy in the team who can just do it by themselves and decides to do it solo decides to do it public anyway. So the only thing, if you're still a bit of a newer player and not that strong, the only thing you really need to worry about or need to think about is how can you benefit the team in other ways, right? The worst thing that you could do is play a setup that dies every 5 seconds, because that genuinely pisses off the team and they don't want to pick you up every 5 seconds. But other than that, just bring a buffing frame, like bring a Citrine that buffs up the team, or bring, let's say, a Protea that can put down the dispensary and give everybody energy, or a healer frame, or a Rhino with Roar. Use something that can help the team out in some way, and don't die. The rest of the team will not mind that you're not dealing damage, because damage is not really the problem. So as long as you have a setup that doesn't die and you can do a little bit for the team, you're fine. I want to be real, you're fine. Play Dante, keep the overguard up. Yeah, that's if you have Dante, like every team is going to be super duper happy to have you. Dante is like the best support and the best Spectre, I think. I think Dante is the best Spectre, right? Cager, what do I think about the heavy slam nerf? I think even if heavy slam is nerfed, it's still going to be pretty broken. Because, let's be real, I've heard somewhere, I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard somewhere that let me quickly go to Warframe. I heard somewhere that a level 9,999 demolition unit has 50 million effective hit points. So, technically, if that's true, I'm not sure. Technically, that would mean that doing more than 50 million damage is kind of overkill. And, you know, that means all the builds that do hundreds of millions or even damage cap, if they get nerfed and still do more than 50 million damage after nerf, that doesn't change anything. It just doesn't change anything. So I think we're going to have to see but I don't think Heavy Slam is just going to be dead. I don't think they're going to make it completely ass. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. So, looking at the Incarnons. Unfortunately, I already did pick my Incarnons apparently. So I can't see which ones are available. I went for the Magistar and the Bronco because they were the last two that I was still missing. But I think there were some actually good ones. I don't remember which though. So that's kind of unfortunate. So, by the way, I'm going to quickly go into the chat and close the chat window. Who is up for a Deviri run? Message me in-game right now, and then we can do a little Deviri run. Have some fun. Technic is already up for the task. Oh, there we go. And we have our first Deviri squad. Bolter Ceramic Dagger Lex. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lion. Thank you, Lion. Leo Murasaki. Bruh, I'm going to struggle with these Twitch names for a while. Leo, thank you for bringing the Incarnon list into the chat. I would recommend, if you don't have your choice already, probably go with a Bolter and a Lex. The Ceramic Dagger is cool, but now that you don't need stat sticks that much anymore, it kind of fell off a bit. So I'm going to say Bolter or Lex is probably going to be the choice this week. Doop, 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 doop. Let's see what we get in Deviri. Maybe we get Kome. That would be cool. If we get Kome, I wanna try that. Zero, can you go Steel Path Master rank 9? Technically, you can go Steel Path as soon as you're Master rank 5. But it depends on... Oh, I have Zaku! Well, I think we're gonna go with Zaku right here. Zaku is a great frame. Shield tank, no. I think we're gonna go with that. Yeah, a lot of range, a lot of ability strength. Go with that. And honestly, I don't even care about the weapons. Oh, we have the Kuva Nukor, where we will go with the... That's not what I wanted. Why is my damage setup not having an arcane? That's kind of sad. And then we go with the multi-primer, whatever. And whatever. And whatever. We're Zaku, we don't care. Status duration, status chance. Yep, that sounds about good. Zorus is the only weapon. Yes, Zorus is really, really darn good. Oh, wait, I thought it was the... Oopsie. Sorry so much. I thought this was the Orvius. I didn't see it, right? Then, of course, we're going to go with the Zorus. No questions asked. Zaku plus Zorus, this is going to be a fun one. Control room, can anyone tell what are void relics? I do have a video on my channel about prime frames and prime weapons and void relics. I think everybody's right. Ready, right? I do have a video on my channel about primes and void relics and how the whole thing works. You can look it up. It's a bit older, but it's still up to date. And there I explain the whole system and why they are important and what they do. So I think it's probably going to be more helpful if you check that out if you have like 10 minutes of time, because it is a thorough explanation. Thank you, sir. No problem. You're welcome. Hope that helps. honestly, syndicates are annoying. There's so many of them. And yeah, syndicate grind is a bit of a pain. I'm going to be honest, I think for syndicates, that's at least what I do all the time. You just pick one or two. Where am I? You just pick one or two and you stick with them. And instead of leveling all of them, you just sell the stuff from your syndicates for platinum and buy the stuff from other syndicates that you need from platinum instead of leveling them up all, because it's a bit of a pain. I don't like it. Yeah, they do auto-increase rank, that's true. That's true. But it kind of still sucks that you can't level them up all at the same time. Fakeline, long-time channel lurker, love the content. Blah, blah, blah. I really snipe while also... Well, I'm happy that you enjoy my stuff. Thank you so much for checking out the stream. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, evening, night, whenever and wherever you are. I should pick my decree, by the way. Not gonna lie, should pick that decree. Let me go somewhere where I'm in peace. Drop a frost explosive, critical hits, blah, blah, whatever. Magna Ray, thank you also so much for the compliment. I'm always super duper happy if y'all are having a good time with the videos, if they're helpful. I mean, that's why I do it after all. And it's cool. Like, I'm really happy that so many of you come here just to say, hey, you know what? Your videos were helpful. I really appreciate the feedback. One thing that I've noticed is, and that's really crazy, right? That's really crazy. If you check out the comments under any of my Warframe guides, and you read all of them, then you will get a feeling that they are like 1/3 negative, right? Like, purely looking at the comments, you think they're like 1/3 negative, 2/3 are like, yeah, that's a nice video. The other 2/3, the last third is going to be like, you're garbage, never make a video again, piss off from the community. That's kind of like the sentiment when you read the comments on YouTube. And the fun thing is, some people really have this sentiment and genuinely asked on other social media or even in my comment section, why everybody hates me. Which is kind of fun because when you look at the comments, you kind of get that feeling. But when you look at, which is unfortunately not possible as a viewer, but only visible to me in my YouTube analytics, when you look at the like to dislike ratio, I shit you not, my most controversial video I ever made was my first Wisp video. I don't want to get too much into the details, but it was kind of justified. Like, not gonna lie, it was kind of justified that this was controversial. That had a like ratio of 95%. My most hated video of all time had a like ratio of 95%. Even though all the comments, or a lot of the comments, were really, really angry. And the reason why that is, I'm not trying to tell you like, oh, I'm so good or anything. Like, there's valid criticism that you can have about my videos, not going to deny that. But the fun thing is, do you know the Amazon review phenomenon? Chat, do you know the Amazon review phenomenon? At least that's what I call it. It's that when you read Amazon reviews of any product, they will overwhelmingly be more negative than the actual sentiment towards that product. Because if you buy something on Amazon and you're happy with it, you're likely not going to write a review. You just have the product and you're cool, right? But if you buy something on Amazon and you're not happy, oh boy, you're going to go into then, you're going to type a long wall of text on how that product was super bad and how you're super disappointed and how it's the worst thing ever and how it was a waste of money and yada yada yada, because that's just how we humans are. If you feel like you've been wronged, you're gonna tell everybody. And that is why when a product has like 10% of the reviews negative, that's a really good product, right? That's not a 90% positive product, that is a 99% positive product. And the same thing happens when you look into the comment section under a lot of YouTube videos, not just mine. And that's why I really appreciate everybody coming in who had a good time with the videos actually saying that. Like, you know, I'm getting a lot of feedback, of course, and I might overread a lot of it too. But, you know, everybody is a human after all, and I really appreciate if you have a genuinely good time with the stuff that I do. Yo, Fake Line, absolutely no offense, right? I'm not trying to tell everybody, like, if you like something, tell the people, blah, blah. You know what? I have the statistics on my videos, and when you're a YouTuber, you're kind of getting used to the comments being more negative than the overall sentiment actually is. So that's not a big deal. I'm not complaining that I'm not getting more positive feedback. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just saying that, you know, not just me, but I think every YouTuber and every creator out there just genuinely appreciates positive feedback. Because when you're just looking at the comments themselves, it might seem like there is more negativity than there actually is. And if you keep that in mind, then you can deal with it much better. Exactly, Piotr. Exactly. Negativity bias is a thing, and if you're just aware of it, it makes life so much easier, especially if you are like a creator or in some way in a public eye. Makes it much easier. Kind of cool that both extractors are so close to one another. Yeah, Majora, I totally agree. I'm not saying that negative comments are bad, as long as they're constructive, absolutely. I really, honestly, I'm going to be real. I appreciate criticism in a constructive and legit way, even more than I appreciate positive feedback. Because that is something that you see so rarely nowadays, that people who are unsatisfied with your video or whatever you're doing can just voice that in a mature way. That is such a rare occurrence that I really appreciate that. Warframe bad, exactly. Why Warframe suck? Why Warframe worst game in the world? Yo, I only got one red Archon Shard today, and genuinely, Warframe is the worst game in the world. Yo, it's so bad. It's just objectively bad. It's just objectively the worst game in the world, because otherwise, why would I only get one red shard, right? Yeah, exactly. Stupid slurs, that happens. But you gotta get used to it, right? If you're doing any type of content creation on social media, you just know what you're getting into. You just don't worry all too much about it. And now cut that out of context. Yeah, exactly. Cut that out of context. MHBlacky hates Warframe. MHBlacky is only in Warframe for the money. In reality, he plays... What was this anime romance simulator called? In reality, that's what I play 24/7. Doki Doki, exactly. Thank you, Doki Doki. Yeah, that's where my actual passion lies. I'm gonna be real with you. That's where my actually passion lies. I'm just playing Warframe for the wisp butt and for the money, of course, because I'm a sellout. And in reality, Doki Doki is what I really need in life. Oh boy. So, where am I? Defense. And I have a decree. Mesa, yeah, Mesa Prime is, if you don't use the sentient skin on Mesa. I'm gonna keep it real. If you use the sentient skin on Mesa, that's kind of a crime. We don't do that. We don't do that. Ugh! Should have used Prime Surefooted. By the way, chat, I think many of you know this whole Nightmare Frame Prime Surefooted meme, which I find kind of funny. Like anytime when anyone posts on Reddit something like, "Oh, I finally got Prime Surefooted," everybody's posting that PNG file from the Prime Surefooted with Nightmare Frame on it, and I think that's actually funny. I think it's a cool meme, and I think even Nightmare Frame himself laughs about it. If there was like any mod that is super stereotypical MHBlacky, what would it be? Like what do I constantly overuse in all of my builds because of personal preference that would be stereotypical for a MHBlacky mod? I've been thinking about that and I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Mold Augmented, but I have no idea. Blood Rush, Inaros. Yeah, Inaros. That's true. But honestly, Inaros is already MC Gamer's thing, so I don't want to be the Inaros guy too. Revenant, yep, praying out. Revenant is, that's true. That's true. Revenant best frame. That is the MHBlacky way of life. True. Combat, yo! Yep, Recipe Sugar. Combat Discipline. That's definitely one of them. Combat Discipline. Arcane Avenger Combat Discipline. Who doesn't like it? Who doesn't like Arcane Avenger Combat Discipline? Whenever I have a bad day, I come home. I don't eat chocolate ice cream. No. I just switch on the big flat screen TV that I have, sit down with a nice glass of gin tonic, and open a very big PNG of Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger and just stare at it for 1 hour straight, and then all my worries have disappeared. That's just what I do. That's just my thing, though. I might have an unhealthy relationship with Combat Discipline. Not gonna deny that. Not gonna deny that. Equilibrium, but honestly, Zerg Equilibrium is just good, right? Equilibrium is just that has nothing to do with me. It's just good. I can't deny that. Stays for combat discipline. Yep. I'm just a disciplined combatant. You can't change it.
The enemy has been exhausted.
Yeah, that's cool. If the enemy had combat discipline, they wouldn't be exhausted. That's for sure.
Do not expect me to tell you when to stop. Judge for yourself.
Equilibrium is Sabuchi's mod. Didn't know that. Good to know.
I do not know how it found its way into the Undercroft.
Nautilus. Nautilus is I do use Nautilus quite a bit. Also do use Shade a lot more than the average player probably.
Foe's armor is weakest.
And I'm probably also a bit biased against the Hound. Nourish, Revenant, definitely Combat Discipline. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Combat Discipline. Honestly, I think I'm gonna give it to Combat Discipline. That's a fair take. That's a fair take. Combat Discipline is a fair take. I feel that. Can anyone make a chat emote with Combat Discipline with my face on it? Yeah, we still have a couple of free emote slots since we hit affiliate recently. We're gonna have a Combat Discipline with my face on it. I think that would be hilarious.
Then work on keeping it down. Evade.
Blacky Discipline. Now, you know what? After the stream, I might just do that myself. I might just see if it's possible to make like a small PNG file with Combat Discipline on it and my face and see if it's like recognizable or if it's just like weird. And if it looks funny, I'm just gonna add that as an emote. Aromatic Line. My opinion on Citrine as a late game support frame. I think as a late game support frame, I mean Citrine is always a good support frame. She's always good. So definitely viable. I would not disincentivize from using her. But I think if you want to like be focused on supporting in late game, probably there are a few better options. Dante is really good. Trinity is really good. Infinite energy and infinite invincibility. That's very cool. But yeah, Citrine is not only really great in early game, but she does hold up in late game quite well too. Just if you're playing solo, I would go for Harrow instead of Citrine. Might be a bit of a hot take, but I think for solo players, Harrow does a lot of the same things that Citrine does, just that he's Harrow, right? He's Harrow. Can you define late game, George? Late game, I would say if you're doing Elite Archimedia. If you're doing regular Elite Archimedia with most modifiers on, that I would currently define as late game. By the way, let's go out after this boss fight and give someone else a chance to join. I think we had a good run so far, but I don't want to just stay with the same team all the time. I think it would be unfair. Thanks for the run, guys. Next team warm up.
Remember, Duviri is real.
Duviri is real. Yeah, I get that. There's like a very real 12 rune marrows that we have here, Teshin. No, Cedric. No, Cedric. Fashion Frame, Cedric, is not late game. Fashion Frame is end game. Late game is what comes slightly before the end game, right? So, don't get it twisted. Late game is Elite Archimedia. End game is Fashion Frame. That's a distinction we need to make. If we don't make this distinction, we're all just animals. That is what distinguishes us from animals. We can tell the difference between late game and Fashion Frame. Who was I just with? Technique and... okay. So let's see who we have next. Let's dish out some of that good old invite vibes. Interesting philosophy. No, it's not a philosophy, it's just facts, right? The fundamental workings of the universe are not philosophy, they're just facts. And the fact that Fashion Frame is endgame and Elite Archimedia is late game, that's not up for debate. That's just how it is. Tian, how do I have over 4K platinum? That is a good question. The simple answer is I just bought it. Just had a discount and just bought it. I mean, Warframe is my job overall, so if I buy platinum, that's actually a tax write-off even. No, but like, for real, YouTube video making takes so much time. If I didn't buy certain things, and if I would farm all the stuff myself, then... yeah, that would kind of take too long. So I do end up buying quite a bit of platinum whenever I have a discount and just buy stuff that I need for certain builds if I don't have it. And I know that some people get really mad about people who buy stuff for real money in the game. And I kind of get that. But also these people who pay real money for the stuff are the ones who are keeping it free to play for all of us. So yeah, that's the long answer, basically. Hoggamer, you used my site build. It was really helpful. I'm happy that you like the site build. Site is a really good frame. Have I tried Arcane Hotshot? I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. Oh boy. The circuit just keeps throwing at the good things at us. You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna go with Owlboy. If Sidonine and Temple were to be in a fight, who would win? That's a good question. I think if Side were to go invisible, he would have a little bit of an edge because, yeah, I don't know if Temple could deal with an invisible frame. But you know what the classic MHBlacky answer would be? Revenant. Let's just say, please wait 10 seconds before switching your loadout. Ugh. Leave me alone. Can I please pick my loadout? And we go with... No, that's... Yeah, we go with that. He's basically the TF2 sniper. Yeah, kind of is. I'm happy that, you know, we have Dante. We don't need to worry about whatever weapon we get thrown at. What's my opinion on the Shawzins? It's cool. Like, I really enjoy those short clips that you see sometimes where people are really vibing with the Shawzin. That's super creative. I like it. I know I can't do that myself, so I appreciate seeing other people who are much better at it.
The paradox has drawn void angels to besiege the undercroft. Undo what their claws
So first, let's stack some of the buffs. Kablooey. Go in with the Noctua. And let's just destroy everything, shall we? I'm not sure though which Noctua build we're currently having because the game wouldn't let me select one. Yeah, but that's going to be alright. I think it's going to be alright. Have I farmed new Coda weapons yet? Still haven't. I'm sorry. Still haven't. Haven't gotten to it. Haven't gotten to it because I really wanted to get that Korra video out this week. Maybe we can farm some liches next week finally in the stream, or maybe on Friday. Let's see. For everybody who's joining now, right? Friday we're gonna have another live stream, and then we're gonna have the dev stream right afterwards. So the Friday is packed this week.
not allow that to happen. Fight on. Close the ruptures as you would staunch the wounds of a comrade. The rupture
Yo, I kind of feel like the team is really snatching up all those orbs here. Barely see any. Honestly, I just read Corvex in chat. I'm a little bit disappointed. No, not disappointed. I'm a little bit annoyed that after I made my video on Corvex where I said, you know what, you can't roll while being in his 4, the devs decided to be like, you know what, you can now roll while being in his 4. And I'm like, darn, now that video's outdated again. Maybe I make a short follow-up where I tweak the build a little bit and make him so that, you know, you incorporate the dash while being in his 4. Whiska, hello to you. Welcome to the stream.
The void angels are unrelenting. You are all that is keeping them at bay. Hold fast.
He can. Yeah, I've heard that they changed it so that when you have the augment for the 4 and have it on as a channeled ability, that you now can do a dash, which first you could, but it wasn't intended, and then they made it that you couldn't, and then they made it that you legitimately can. So kind of a bit of a back and forth there. Does your Gauss build still hold on? I'm not sure if it's 100% up to date with all the new stuff that we got, but it's still doing very good.
Secrets lie buried deep within the undercroft.
Corvex is busted. Yep. Corvex, like whenever you have high enemy density, Corvex is really, really, really darn good. If not, then, nah, well, not so much. But usually you do have that, so no issues there. An extractor requires power attrition. Well, how about you do something about it? How is Corvex built? My current Corvex video that I have out is unfortunately still with the previous Corvex in mind. I might make a little bit of a refreshment on that soon, but I'm not sure yet when. Captain Deadpool 10, hello and welcome to the stream. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, evening, night, morning, whenever and wherever you are.
Void treasure extraction site. Extractor deploying.
Oh, we have a B now. Hey everybody, how about you die? And don't attack the extractor. I think I'm going to use my AoE a little bit here. Kablooey. Yeah, let's just give that thing a bit more shields. And down you go. What about Wisp Prime? Is it a good endgame frame? Absolutely. Wisp is one of the best frames in the game. Whoa, what? I'm almost dead. Let's not die. How about that? Let's just try to not die. Wisp is one of the best frames. When I make my top 10 Warframes of 2025 list, I can totally imagine that she will again make that list. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Do you get any affinity every time you forma something? You mean mastery experience? No. Mastery experience, you only get that when you bring a weapon or a warframe to the max level for the first time. After that, not anymore. Exception there being, of course, lich weapons that can go up to level 40. Yeah, if you forma them and enable them to go to level 40 this way, then yes, you get the additional mastery XP for getting them to level 40. But normal weapons, no. If you forma them, you don't get any additional MR. Is the Slime Nakana good? Yes. Is good. Especially if you're still relatively early in the game. Because you technically have early game access to it. Duviri is not that far in the game if you really want to. So yeah, it's a good one. Warframe Explained. Hello, I know you. Great YouTube video as well. Thank you so much, Warframe Explained. That's a really good nickname, by the way. I appreciate that. You know what I don't appreciate? That I don't have energy, though. It's kind of a problem. If you're Dante, you don't have energy, that's a bit eh. But we're almost done with the excavation anyway. Forza, where can I find a filter like yours? What do you mean? What do you mean with filter?
Further buried riches are here for the taking. This struggle goes on for as long as you can stand.
What's your knowledge on Limbo like? Unfortunately, my knowledge on Limbo is very limboted. Sorry, that was cringe. It's very limited. I haven't invested much time in Limbo. I technically only use him to break containers when I farm resources that only are obtained from containers. But that's kind of like the only thing I do with Limbo. So I am unfortunately not the right person to ask about that. Unfazed, do you think that Sevagoth is early or for more experienced players? Because my build doesn't seem to work. I mean, it depends on what you build on Sevagoth. If you want one of those cool, funky room nuke builds, then it might need a bit of a more high-invested Sevagoth. But if you just want to use the Shadow Clone and melee everything to death, I think that can be done pretty early on already. In general, though, I think the fact that Sevagoth deals so much damage means that you don't really need him on early game levels, right? He just is massive overkill. I think in the early game it's more important to have a build that is consistent and can keep you alive, and then later on you can go into the stuff that room nukes. Autumn Knight, don't be sorry, man. You have spring break. Sleep long, enjoy the time, and, you know, do spring break stuff. That was quick. But glad that you're here. Will I do a Grendel build? At some point, definitely. When will that happen? I'm not 100% sure. Why am I automatically shooting at enemies? I do not know.
I do not know how it found its way into the Undercroft, but it cannot be allowed.
It cannot be allowed. Well, then let's take care of the Jackal. I wish they had like some other boss fights in here as well. The nuke build doesn't work unfazed. I mean, I do have a Sevagoth nuke build video on my YouTube channel. But the thing is, I do not know exactly your build, so I cannot exactly say what the issue with your build is. Maybe if you have some time, you check out my Sevagoth build on YouTube and compare that to yours, and then you might find some differences that help you with identifying what the issue is. Otherwise, maybe just focus on the shadow form for now, because that's really darn strong. Yeah, Nightfall, we really do need some bosses for the circuit. Edlin, hey brother, what do you think about using Kuva Sobek with your Frost build? I've seen a video where, I don't know who made that video, but I've seen a video with Frost and the Kuva Sobek, and it was really darn busted. So I say it's a very good combination. But I haven't done it myself yet, so I cannot 100% tell from own experience. I just know that it's a really good combination and it can do a lot of damage. Do you know how the precise headshot crit chance works on the AX52? I would have to read in the wiki to be 100% sure. I don't want to give any wrong information here, but I think... Isn't it just like an added mod, like 400% on top? I mean, let's quickly go out here, bring in a new team, and I will open up the Warframe wiki for y'all and just quickly read that up. AX52. When headshots have plus 400% crit chance. Crit chance bonus is additive to mods like Point Stark. Yeah, okay, so the additive crit chance on the AX52 is just like you have a crit mod on the AX52 that gives plus 400%. That's how it works. And it only works when you headshot, of course. Oh my god, you're 2 hours late. It's fine, bro. It's fine. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. So let's invite the next crew for the next run. Yep, true, Leo. Thank you for the clarification. Yes, of course, when I say headshot, I mean weak point hit. There are enemies where the weak point is not the head. That's, by the way, why the AX52 is probably one of the worst weapons against Murmur, because they have, like, really screwed weak points. Wouldn't want to go with that. How does Sevagoth nuke? I mean, I explained that in great detail in my Sevagoth build, but it's basically a combination of Sevagoth's abilities where enemies get weakened, and then the weakness spreads when the enemy dies, and then you shoot out the clones, and the clones also spread when the enemy dies, and basically this can create a chain reaction where Sevagoth can just like clear an entire corridor as long as there are enemies around to whom that can spread. That's the TLDR answer. But it really requires specific situations with high enemy density. Otherwise, that chain reaction sometimes just dies out. Crystal Tiger, love your content. Great to catch you on Twitch too. Well, great to catch you on Twitch. Crystal Tigers are the best tigers after all. I keep on saying that, right? Orange tigers, white tigers, snow tigers, whatever, right? They can all go extinct if you ask me, but the crystal ones, those are the ones that we all need, right? That is the ecosystem that we want to have on this planet. Jokes aside, but nice that you made the stream. I'm happy that you are here, and I hope that you have a good Wednesday. By the way, who is in the chat? We have you and you and... Let's invite some more. Does Temporal Archimedia DVD have a normal mode? Yes, there is Temporal Archimedia and there's Elite Temporal Archimedia. So it does have a normal mode, just like the normal Archimedia as well. The circuit. Let's begin that. Fixie, how's it going? Welcome to the stream again. Nice to see you here again. Hope you had a great Easter weekend. Yo, Tian, holy cow. If they add an Incarnon Stug, I'm going to be so happy. Incarnon Stug would be really, really nice. Holy cow. I think I'm going to go with Uncle Frost here. With... Oh, I do have a loadout that's called Deviri. I don't know what the loadout does anymore. But if it's called Deviri, it must be good, right? If it's called Deviri, it must be good. Yeah, we're going to go with that. So, which weapons? Ooh, we have the Strong Prime. Murmur. Crit stun. No. Let's go with that. Strong Prime and Incarnon, always pretty darn good. Aklex, and the rest doesn't matter. I think I'm good. I think I'm good, chat. I think Strong Prime Incarnon with Frost is pretty good. Fakeland, gotta go. Looking forward to more streams. Take care. Yeah, you take care of yourself. Have a good rest of the Wednesday, and hopefully see you soon. I think we're good, right? Let's go. Toast of Greed, first time seeing one of these streams. Good evening, Toast. Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a good Easter weekend too. What's my go-to primary weapon? Probably either the Fenmore or the Torrid Incarnon or the what's it called? The Burst on Prime Incarnon. That's my trio of doom. But not gonna lie, Strong Prime Incarnon is also pretty good, and I'm happy that we got it here. That Void Angel there is not happy. Not Void Angel, the Thrax, I mean, is not happy we got it though. And I'm about to die. That's alright, I don't have energy. That's kind of cringe. Wumpus, will I ever make a level cap guide? Yeah, I might do that. I'm technically not really fond of doing level cap myself, not gonna lie. But I think I can make a guide on it. I mean, after all, if you do level cap, you either go Revenant or some other frame that is really, really, really good at shield gating. And in terms of damage, we have so many ways to deal damage nowadays that it's not that big of an issue anymore. Butsua Lewis, you're MR6 right now. Any tips? Yep, MR6 is #1 tip is get the Soma. Get the Soma, invest 1 or 2 Forma into it because the Soma is really, really, really good. You unlock that at MR6. You can get the blueprint from the market. It's a really, really good rifle. And it can carry you throughout the entire game, basically.
Still, the stout bow stands.
Yes, you have my Dante build. It obliterates Murmur level 300. That's what Mr. Dante does. What was that? That's what Mr. Dante does. Thanks, you're welcome. Why is my Strun so garbage? Tian, you have a confession. You only started using Soma at MR17. Hey, yo. You know, hot takes are always welcome. Hot takes are always welcome. I do that all the time myself.
Your resolve is being tested. Do not falter. Prepare yourself.
Is Resourceful Retriever like mod exists for robotics? I don't think so. No, unfortunately not. Now, if you want to do Resourceful Retriever, you gotta go with the Biofolks as companions. Yeah, Zerg. I don't know. I also don't know why my Strun is not that great right now. Maybe my Grineer build that it shows here was not all that cool. Maybe I picked the wrong evolutions because I showcased something in a video or whatever. I'm not sure. But like, that doesn't look good. Not gonna lie, that doesn't look good. Yeah, whoever said that the Incarnon that the circuit rotation right now is kind of garbage, you're not wrong.
If only for now. Will you lay your sword aside?
Benny, I hope that's pronounced Benny, is so mad you missed this run. Oh, don't worry, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. It's all gonna return.
Roost and the Zariman are breaking into the Undercroft. Repair the damage to keep them at bay. The void can heal as well as harm. Gather the floating spheres.
Oh, I think I know why my Strun Incarnon sucks. Because I used the Grineer build, and I think my Grineer build on the Strun went for slash DOT. And obviously we're not fighting Grineer here. So, like, the faction damage just doesn't work, and that's why the slash DOT is so garbage. I think that's what's going on here. Should have maybe taken a look at that build. Yeah, and Corrupted take less slash. Not the best combination. I don't know about you, but where I come from, we call that not the best combination. Yo, never mind. It's all good. We're chilling. Ilui, you just reached Steel Path. First of all, congratulations. Second of all, if you're not doing damage right now, the first question I would ask is, do you have galvanized mods on your Arca Plasmor? If not, and that's the most common reason why people don't deal damage in Steel Path, that is because a lot of people don't have galvanized mods when they start out with Steel Path. And if you don't have that, then the first thing you should do is farm some galvanized mods in the arbitrations. If you do have galvanized mods and you're still not dealing damage, then probably the issue is that you're not armor stripping, because armor in Steel Path is a big thing that you really want to get rid of, otherwise you're not dealing good damage. And if you have a good galvanized build and you're armor stripping, you shouldn't have any issues with the damage, honestly. If you're still having problems with the damage, then probably use a Warframe that buffs your damage output, a good weapons platform. And then those enemies should not stand the slightest chance. Oh yeah, and it goes crazy on mag. That is a very good point. 10 Archoplasmor is one of the best weapons for mag. Yes, Fixie, the cool thing with mag is that the projectile gets like sucked in by the bubble, but since it's such a wide projectile, it just spins in the middle and deals a whole lot of damage. It's kind of hilarious. Oh yeah, and the Nutteruk, yes. Benny, which frame did I start with? I started with Excalibur because he was the poster boy. Nowadays, though, it really comes down to personal preference. Like, you get Equilibrium very early in the game, and that gives you enough energy to basically be able to play all 3 frames. If you want to have versatility, you go for Volt. If you like mage type of caster builds, then you go with mag. And if you like poster boys, you go with Excalibur. That's really it. That's what I would say in 2025. Alchemy, ooh, haven't had that. Would Coda Basilisk do the same thing on Mag? Sharky, haven't tried that myself, but I could imagine, yes. Yep, we want that. Exceltra, oh yeah, Exceltra is also very nice. Oh yeah, I get that. In 2016, Mag was definitely not the best starter. Like, that's for sure. Because if you want to play Mag, you need energy. And guess what's the one thing you don't have at the beginning of the game? Energy. But gladly that changed now. Like, honestly, back in the day when Equilibrium was like a later game mod, that was so sad. Like, you would literally have to play a lot of the game and always struggle with energy before you can do any proper builds. I'm so happy those times are over.
Is the deadly byproduct of toxin and electricity.
I want some gold. Crit damage double. Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm about dead. Is Dante still worth it to farm? Absolutely. Dante is the man in the ice cream van. You don't want to get in trouble with him. He's really good. He's a good supporter. He's a good damage dealer. He's just really good overall. Ankara, it took you 2,000 hours to give Equilibrium a try. Honestly, not gonna judge. I have been a sucker for Arcane Energize for a long time too, but honestly, Equilibrium is really, it's just so comfortable. Anonymous, what do I think about Umbra? If you fix his survivability issues by making him invisible or so, I think he's really good, especially after the rework with the pseudo-exalteds and exalteds. Like, his chromatic blade deals some crazy status effects. You can really do a lot of damage with that. You just need to make sure that you survive. Without Cyto 9 Subsume, I probably wouldn't like him all too much, but with Subsume, yeah, he's really good. Unfazed, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The problem with survivability is, right, in Steel Path, I think before I answer that, right, before I give a long-winded answer, there is a video on my channel with a thumbnail where there's an Excalibur in the middle and a lot of first-person view guns are pointed at him and shooting him. And this video is called something like How to Make Every Warframe Invincible or something like that. You're definitely going to find it if you search a little bit. And this is basically a video where I break down survivability from the very early stages of the game to the very late stages of the game. And I think if your issue is survivability, you might actually want to check that video out and then look at what I've been pointing out there and which of these tactics you can personally use on your builds to make them more survivable. Same thing for the damage. I also have a video where I do pretty much the same thing, just going over how to increase your damage output from what you can do in the early game, very easy to achieve, to the more advanced tactics as you get later into the game. So I think if you have a little bit of time and you give both of these videos a watch and see which of these tactics you can apply to your personal loadout, that might already go a long way in helping you deal better with Steel Path. At least then you would know exactly what to farm and what you need. Technically, you love that video. I'm happy. Happy you like that. Yeah, I think these overall videos that just try to answer generalized questions are really helpful because there's like a lot of general info that is helpful for most accounts. And it also helps you build crafting if you just don't copy-paste builds from build videos, but rather but rather just, you know, learn build concepts and then apply them yourself. Cat King, which mods do you need for shield gating? You need Brief Respite as an aura mod, and some of the Augur mods, some of the mods from the Augur mod set, because what these mods do is they give you shield whenever you spend energy, and this way you can keep your shield up constantly and to refresh that shield gating duration. And of course you need to make sure that you have a lot of energy, because if you run out of energy, then there's no shield gating anymore. Deadpool, how to make Wisp unkillable? Very simple. As long as you're in the air, you're invisible. As long as your 2 is out, you're invisible. And if you double tap your 2, you basically have rolling guard and 5 seconds of invincibility. So that's basically all you need. Oh yeah, and of course you can use Breach Surge to blind the enemies. That also works. Tricker, would Excalibur be a good support frame due to Slash Dash? I don't really think Excalibur is a good support frame. He's more of a damage dealer. A bit of a squishy damage dealer, but a good one. Shut up, Vor. Take your Giannis key and get out of here. Majora, thank you for mentioning it. Of course, catalyzing shields. Yeah, if you do shield gating, then catalyzing shields is also one of the mods that you want to have. Because it lowers your shields, but makes sure that you have a fixed shield gating duration. So this way it makes it easier to refill them to full. By the way, this is also one of the tactics that I explained in my survivability video, how shield gating works. Gemini, you completed New War. What should you focus on next? I would focus next on doing whatever is required to get you into the 1999 quest. Not 1999. The Whispers in the Wall quest. That would be the one that comes after the New War. That is where the story progresses. I don't know what exactly the requirements are to make Whispers in the Wall happen, but yeah, that would be the next step. And after that, 1999, of course. How does one get operator weapons, Whiska? You can craft them in Cetus and Fortuna and also the Necrolis. There are NPCs that you can talk to which sell parts out of which you can build your operator weapon. And then you do that. Unfortunately, I don't have a dedicated build on that. Probably should do that, but I know that a while ago, Warframe Flow, I think, made a very excellent build, very excellent video on all types of operator weapons and which are good and how they work. It was a really good video. I watched that myself to amp up my operator game. Can definitely recommend that. Bluebone, should you focus on reaching max rank with every syndicate? Definitely not with the 6 base syndicates, because you cannot max them out all at the same time. But eventually, like the open world syndicates, like the Ostron, Solaris United, the Hex in Helvania and all that, sure, eventually you want to max them all out. But the 6 base syndicates, I would personally say just pick 3 and stick with them and trade for the stuff from the other ones. I just now realized which game mode we're actually playing. Oh boy, I've been concentrating so much on chat. Sorry team for being useless. We're gonna get there. Eventually we're gonna get there. Inazuna, might be a good idea to start arbitration for the galvanized mods. Absolutely. I think nobody should start genuinely with Steel Path before having galvanized mods. It's just too much of a pain. Couldn't agree more. Side 09 with Kuvazar, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. Favorite secondaries? That's a good one. I mean, honestly, I'd never use secondaries that much for dealing damage, mostly like as a support or for stats. So probably the most used secondary I have would be the Epitaph, because it's a nice primer. I love it as a primer. What if you're having issues with the arbitrations? Just do them in the public squad. I mean, arbitrations start at level 60, right? So you can easily stay under level 100. And if you just do them in the public squad, usually the squad has got you covered. I wouldn't worry too much about it. As long as you have a build that doesn't die all the time, which is super easy, you just go Anaros or something, or Rhino with Iron Skin, you're good. The team is going to take care of that, and you're going to easily have your first galvanized mods in no time. Let's be real, most people playing arbitrations can just solo it anyway. So I wouldn't feel bad if I didn't have that damage output just yet. Basically, it comes down to what I said earlier. If there is any type of sort of advanced game mode that you're playing, and you feel like you don't have the damage output for that yet, just play it in a random squad, use some Warframe that can maybe buff the team or heal the team or benefit the team in some way, and as long as you're not constantly dying, nobody's gonna care. I think let's go for one more survive. Let's go up to tier 5, and that should be it for Deviri for me today. I don't want to do like a level 10 Deviri run in the stream.
Endurance is defiance. Prove you can endure the undercroft.
Archon Hunt, same for Archon Hunt. Archon Hunt nowadays technically also not that difficult anymore. You know, pick something where you don't die. Maybe if you have something that can at the same time benefit the team a little, and it's fine. People have got you covered. I think nobody's going to be mad at you if you don't deal a lot of damage. Like, it happens very rarely that I play random squads and anyone gives someone else shit for only having like 1% team damage. The only thing that annoys people in random squads is if somebody just dies all the time and has to be picked up all the time, because that's annoying. But other than that, don't worry about the damage. Yeah, Technic, I agree. Dying in arbitrary, like dying in general is sometimes, no, not some, is usually the issue. Like having to revive teammates. I'm sure Chicken Teriyaki can tell you a thing or two about that. And because I'm about to die too. My Frost build here is just not up to the task at level 300. But that's alright. Because we're out of this afterwards. Tian, Incarnon tier list. That's a good question. Once I have all the Incarnons, because I still don't. Once I have all the Incarnons, definitely going to make that. What are we doing after this? I'm not sure. I might just drink some tea and stop killing my voice. That would be something that I could think of. Maybe we can do a quick Archon hunt, but I don't know which missions we currently have in Archon hunt. So if it has spy, I don't know if I want to do that. Ronius, it is 100% possible to do 4 primary syndicates. I think it's even possible to do 5 syndicates at the same time if you really want to go hard min-maxing and constantly switching them. But if you want to do it super conveniently without having like to switch up and interact and stuff, it's 3. But yeah, sure. If you wanted to, you can do easily 4. Rock City, my voice is so unique, you swear. Well, thank you for the compliment, I guess. Happy you enjoy listening to me. Honestly, with all the buffs that we stacked so far, I kind of begin enjoying the Strum Prime Incarnon. Yeah, but the survivability of this Frost build is just not there anymore. Yeah, I want to drink tea and play some good old Doki Doki. Yeah, because that's where the love is. Screw Warframe, worst game in the world. You know, Warframe is actually just a Doki Doki clone, a really bad one at that. They try to tag on the dating simulator because they wanted to get some of that fan base over. But the thing is, they just got nothing on Doki Doki and Love in Deep Space. I'm sure that Reb would agree to that. Honestly, I find it kind of funny, like so many of those like datey games and stuff. I think if you're a good-looking female creator and you were to make videos about these games, you would get a large fan base very, very quickly. I think I just should turn the whole thing around. I should go and be a Love and Deep Space creator. I should do that. They had to get more money from romance writers. Yo, holy cow. How is it that I'm surviving this? That's right, I'm not surviving this. Aoi favorite character. Yeah, Whisker, I agree. Aoi is just really fun. I like her. She's wholesome. Oh wait, it's not Archimedia anymore. We can go operator. When hot tub stream, Majora. A hot tub stream, I'm going to start doing that once I set up my OnlyFrames account. And let's get out of here. I'm done with that, Frost.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to totally do a hot tub stream on my OnlyFrames account where I sit in the hot tub and then you can all subscribe to me and I take a permanent marker and write your names on my body. I heard that's a unique idea, right? I'm sure nobody ever did that before me. I should file a patent for that because no way anyone would ever done that, right? No way anyone would take money from people just to write their names with a permanent marker on their body while being in a hot tub. You know what would be hilarious? If I take a big banana and write on it. Yeah, nobody would have ever done that. Might just dye my hair red. Sound good? Should we do that? Do you trade for plat or just buy it? I just buy it. I'm going to be real. Because Warframe is my job, just doesn't really matter all that much when I pay money in the game. It's technically even a tax write-off. Jesus, Blacky, what? I'm just having an original idea that has never been done before. Do it with tattoos. Oh, if you want to do it with the tattoos, then we gotta amp it up a little. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the thing. Spending time farming a lot of stuff and farming platinum and trading for platinum. That's unfortunately, I don't have the time budget to do that because the videos take so long to make. That's why I usually buy my platinum. There are things I wish I could not picture. Well, there are things for all of us that we wish we could not picture. Let me quickly get my Incarnate adapter before I forget it. Yeah, continue. Give me my Magistar. So what do we have in the Archon Hunt? So we have Sabotage, Interception, and that's actually kind of cool. Anyone who want to do... Yo! Mr. Autumn Knight. By the way, I think that was all so far. Anyone who want to do Archon Hunt? Technic Lua Spire. Technic really likes to have the wisdom teeth removed without anesthetics. No, I'm not going to judge. I'm just listening. I'm listening and I'm understanding. And I wish you a lot of fun with the Lua Spy. That's fine. Guys, you made it! Yes, you made it! Mod privileges? Nah, no mod privileges. Mr. Autumn Knight, I think Autumn Knight has never actually played with us on stream, right? So, Archon Hunt, what? Yeah, I'm not going to go with the Prisma Gorgon, that's for sure. For the Archon Hunt, why don't we go with the Burst on Primate Carnon? Good old Burst on there. With the... Whatever. Is strong enough. Epitaph. Zoras. Which build do I have on the Zoras? Yeah, we're not going to use that. And that should about do. Yeah, that should about do. Revenant versus Mesa, who's winning? I would say definitely Revenant, because Mesa would technically get stunned once she hits the first shot. I think generally, if you were to put all Warframes in one room, Revenant would have a good chance of coming out of this alive. You just put Rolling Guard on, and then you can recast Mesmer Skin. And the only way that anyone would ever be able to take Revenant down would be by just draining his energy and hoping that at some point he will run out of Mesmer Skin.
Shut his facilities down.
Tau trembles within you, just as it consumes me. Choose your pride.
Favorite Prime Frame design? A Prime Frame design? I think a Naros Prime skin is pretty cool if you replace the helmet. My favorite Prime helmet is Ash. Ash Prime helmet is the most beautiful helmet in the game. And that's not just my opinion, that is an objective truth. That is a fundamental law of the universe. We do not discuss that. It just is the way it is.
Objective achieved. Well done.
Objective achieved. Well done.
Yes, objective achieved. Well done. Better than change of plans. Revenant versus Inaros, that's a finale. I want to be 100% real. If you put Revenant against Inaros, Revenant's just going to press 3 and Inaros is dead. That's just it. I love Inaros as much as the next guy, but this is not even close. Like, the only thing that I dislike about the Burst on Prime Incarnon is that it sounds like a sewing machine. Like, it packs such a punch, but it sounds like an old sewing machine. See, Richard, that's a good point, but the thing is that even if Revenant loses a Mesmer Skin charge, there is no way that you can burn the charges down really quickly because he gets invincible for like a third of a second every time he loses a charge. So technically, that means even if he eats a lot of attacks very, very quickly, that's still a solid amount of invincibility that he gets. And then he can just rolling guard and recast it. That's the thing, right? At the time where Revenant was not yet invincible every time he loses a charge, an Eximus unit can easily, like a heavy gunner Eximus, can easily burn down the entire Mesmer Skin charges in just a split second. But that's just not the case anymore, because I don't know who it was, but somebody at DE thought, well, I think Revenant is a bit too weak. I think we need to give him a little bit of a buff there. They give him a little bit of an invincibility on top, just for good measure. Wompgump, you have one thing to say. Korra. Korra is going to happen this week. I talked about it early on stream. I have a funny build. I have two builds. One meta build, which is boring because it's just the same red crit stuff that you've seen 1,000 times. But then a very funny Ivanari-based build that I like a lot. You're probably going to enjoy that. It was Reb, Sunny, but was it Reb who thought that Revenant needed that buff?
I want to know what he's telling his flock.
I'm not going to say anything other than thank you. As a Revenant enjoyer, I 100% agree that he needed that buff. Rebecca, whoever told you that that was probably a bit of a busted decision to make him invincible, that is objectively wrong. Actually, I would suggest we buff him even more by giving him invincibility during the recasting animation of Mesmer Skin. But that's just me. No, honestly, I appreciate it. I like the chill gameplay style of Revenant. The thing is, Revenant is unkillable, and that's fine, because there are actually a lot of game modes where just being unkillable doesn't help. Like, if you want to play solo defense, then good luck with Revenant, you're just going to fail. And that is sort of what balances him. I mean this genuinely, I'm not saying this ironically, but like, there are enough game modes where just being Revenant means, yeah, cool, you don't die and you deal a lot of damage, but you still lose. So, I think Revenant is actually not overpowered. Sublio, hello, how are you? Well, I am fine, thank you for asking. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. Welcome to the stream. We're currently doing some Archon hunts. We did Archimedia farming for Archon Shards this week. Was kind of no red shards. And now we're doing Archon hunts because, you know, Archon hunts is a little bit chill. It's a nice activity for the evening. Brutus, welcome to you too. Ronius, I totally agree, right? I totally agree. Whenever somebody says Revenant is really, really busted and strong, the first argument that you hear a lot of people make is he's really boring. And, you know, the fun part is that these two things are true at the same time, right? The reason why Revenant is so boring is because he is so incredibly strong and does not need any active gameplay at all, really. Right? So the fact that Revenant is busted kind of is the reason for why Revenant is boring. So whenever somebody says that Revenant is not busted because he is boring, I like to actually argue that he is busted and he is boring. So I totally agree with that take. Revenant is not interesting to play at all. But as I previously said, I just like to not pay that much attention to the game when I'm playing. Just like to chill when I play. And that is why I enjoy Revenant a lot. Like, if I wanted to play super sweaty, I could, of course, try to do, you know, level cap runs with, I don't know, Anaros. Right? It's technically possible to do Anaros level cap. It's technically possible. But I just don't feel that. You've been on the grind for adaptation for 3 weeks. Oh, I hope you get it soon. Adaptation is a beautiful mod. Can't get enough of that. What's my boring frame? I mean, Revenant, of course. And if Revenant is too exciting, then I might also just enjoy a little bit of Anaros on the side. But only with adaptation and Mirage's Eclipse in defense mode, because otherwise those Blitz Eximus just kill you anyway. Hate it because of the grind? Yeah, I totally feel that. Like, adaptation is one of those mods that you really feel like you want to have a good drink after achieving them because, you know, it's a hard grind. It's a tough grind. Took me a long time to get that myself back in the day when it was first released. I think I grinded a lot for that. So, good loot to you, definitely. Like, fingers are all crossed. Coil, we need Citrine Yarly Prime ASAP. Yeah, I mean Yarly Prime, it would be really surprising if they don't make Yarly the next Prime. She's really overdue by now. And Citrine should also happen relatively soon, I think. Maybe this year? Could be. Would love that. Oh, so like you got adaptation today? Well, congratulations. Beginning stream decode now. Well,
We are in total control. Keep fighting.
yeah, Ronias, that is a fair take. I totally see Warframe as a background game. Like, when you're in the early game, it's not so much. When you're in the early game, it's more of a relatively easy third-person shooter. But once you're in the late game, once you're in the end game, and you have those builds that just obliterate entire maps at the press of a button, Warframe is essentially a background game. Like, whenever I play Warframe privately off-stream, I just watch some YouTube videos, play Revenant with Zorus, and delete entire rooms, get some loot on the side. I think that's how a lot of players play Warframe, and that's totally fine. If I want to play a game where I'm like super immersed and stuff, I think my go-to game for immersion would be Star Citizen, even though it's a buggy mess. But if it works, man, if it works, you have never experienced a more immersive game than Star Citizen. Unfortunately, oftentimes doesn't work, but if the stars align and you happen to have a playthrough where you don't bug out, you don't fall through the floor, you don't get stuck in an elevator, and just everything purely works, yo, Star Citizen is the craziest experience in gaming. Hands down. Do you prefer Zorus over Glaive Prime? Yeah, technically because of melee influence. I know the Serata is also really good. And actually, for the real Glaive connoisseurs, the Falcor is probably the most interesting and unique Glaive out of the bunch. Error 30,000k in Star Citizen haunts me. I don't know what error that is, but I know that last time when I played Star Citizen, I was on a 3-hour mining expedition, and I literally, and I shit you not, I literally came back to the city safely, which was already a miracle because usually you just die for some random bullshit along the way. But I made it safe to the city and I just wanted to sell all the gems that I had mined. And I was really happy to finally make some bank. And then I literally fell through the floor and died 1 meter in front of the sales console. You cannot make this up. I lost everything that I had mined in that 3 hours because I fell through the floor in front of the sales console. And at that point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna uninstall this game and try again in half a year. And that was kind of like the 4th time I did that. Usually my experience with Star Citizen is just like, every time I upgrade my computer, I'm like, first thing I install a Star Citizen and see how the frame rate is gonna be. And then I played for a bit and I'm like, this is the greatest game ever. And then something like that happens and then I uninstall it and be like, see you in half a year. Hey, see you in half a year. Yeah, Benny. Yep. I did uninstall. I have uninstalled and reinstalled Star Citizen, I think, more than I've uninstalled and reinstalled any other game. One day, hopefully this thing is gonna be stable, and it's probably gonna be the greatest experience in gaming history. But that day is still relatively far, unfortunately. What always brings me back to it, I don't know if you've ever played Star Citizen. I mean, for the people who have played Star Citizen before, you probably know what the special thing about it is. But like, this is the most immersive experience that I've ever had with a game. It is just absolutely crazy. Like, in most games, going into your spaceship and flying down to a planet's surface, getting out, killing 3 enemies, and getting back to hand in the mission is like the most generic thing ever. But in Star Citizen, this is such a high adrenaline experience because this game is just brutal. It doesn't hold your hand, right? I once accidentally took the wrong ship, and while I was in the middle of space, I found out that this ship did not have a navigation module. So I had like no idea where I was going, and I couldn't look it up, and you cannot just teleport away because if you die, you lose everything. So I had to sort of like navigate my way back to the space station based on how the planets were laid out, and I kind of sort of had to find my way myself, which took me 2 hours. And that was one of the craziest stuff that I had ever done because in no other game would something like this happen. In every other game, you just open the minimap and fast travel and whatever. But Star Citizen is just different. You need to have played it once to really understand it. And I so wish that it will sometime in the future just be a good playable game. Yeah, Whiska, the server meshing really helped a lot. I heard a lot of good things about the static server meshing that they brought in with 4.0. Haven't tried that myself though, but maybe in half a year. Maybe I'll try it again. See how it's going. No Man's Sky better? No Man's Sky Swag Pepperoni is a very different game. I love No Man's Sky and I have quite some hours in it. But No Man's Sky is essentially more of a gamey game, so to speak, right? Star Citizen is more like a real-life simulator in space, and No Man's Sky is more like a space exploration game. I think that's a good description, right? No Man's Sky is a gamey game, and Star Citizen is just a real-life simulator in space where you get fucked over every second because you did not think about the most basic thing, like, for example, putting your helmet on before you go out in space, right? You're in your spaceship, you take your helmet off to eat something because you can't eat if you have the helmet on, logically, right? And then you open the door of the ship and then you're just instantly dead because you don't have your helmet on. And these are things that you just don't think about when you look at a game from like a gaming perspective, right? And that's the beautiful but also the, you know, a bit of a painful thing about Star Citizen. And No Man's Sky is just more gamey. And I think they're both excellent games, but not necessarily comparable. GTS Eternal, how's everybody doing? We are doing jolly good. I hope you're doing also fine. And if not, then I hope that is going to change very, very soon. Welcome to the stream. How's your Wednesday been? Warframe for the pew pew, No Man's Sky for the chill. Dogs, yes. That's a good one. We can totally agree on that. Reminds me of trying to eat while having a COVID mask on. Yeah, that's kind of the No Man's Sky experience, the Star Citizen experience. Eating with a COVID mask. Just trying to wake up. Oh, just trying to wake up. That sounds like West Coast? Where is it morning now? Swaggy Pepperoni, how is my streaming experience so far? I have a very good experience. Like, I'm very happy. I'm grateful for all the mod team who are keeping the chat clean. That's very nice of you. I'm grateful for all the support that all of you are giving, and I just love it. The only problem that I have is that my voice is not used to speaking for so long, and yeah, that's kind of the thing. But I think over time I'm getting used to it. Central US, okay. Then, well, good morning. Have a beautiful Wednesday.
Alice. And now what is left of him is puppeted by the Ram. I will not say he deserved better, but I grieve for who he could have been.
Dog, you have banger videos, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad you like them. Welcome to the stream. Hydration. Bro, I'm almost done with the second bottle. Wait, I did have the epitaph, right? I was like, did I freeze him while he was invincible? Oopsie, sorry. And down you go. Don't want to lose that voice. Oh, don't worry about it. I think if I just overbear on my voice, if I just hurt it too much, it's just gonna get more raspy. Not gonna complain about that. Not gonna go the cigarette way, just the a lot of talking way. Can you see the epitaph build, dog? Absolutely no problem. I can show you after this mission now. Ben's Redemption, sweet, you call Blackie. Well, welcome, Ben's Redemption. Welcome to the stream. We have a red one. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to what the Archon hunt was. So yeah, red one was guaranteed, of course. But yeah, I'm happy still. That makes one more. That's good. That is very, very good. So let's quickly look at the epitaph build. No problem. That is the epitaph. I have it on the multi-primer, which is just focused on having a lot of different elements, plus secondary encumber for even more elements. This way it can prime a lot of elements. Can screenshot it. And I also have a whole lot of other builds, but I also have a dedicated video on the epitaph. So if you want to know more, then check out on YouTube, because there is a lot more to this weapon. GTS Eternal, I also have a Cedo build, of course. Can show you some of the builds on the Cedo. That is a build that I use for factionless stuff, like Skuldra and something. This is a build that uses basically the discs just as a status primer. This is a bit of a weird build that is meant to use the discs from the secondary fire as damage dealers. Needs a lot of buffing, but is kind of fun. And if you want to know more about the Cedo, then check out my Cedo video. Secondary cucumber. I'm sorry, Majora. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me that I'm just dumb and can't read the arcane name. Of course, this is secondary cucumber. Do you also have an Icona Prime build? Yep. Don't know if it's up to date right now. No, that was not it. Yeah, that's a melee animosity build, mainly doing slash. I think I don't have a melee influence build, because melee influence on an Icona is just boring. But if you want to have some up-to-date build suggestions on Nakanas, you can also check out my Dex Nakana video that I uploaded 2 weeks ago. Basically, the builds work one-on-one the same on the Nakana Prime. With no Riven, yeah. My Nakana Riven needs some more rerolls. Not all that great. It's not all that great. No Majora Influence was the one that spreads the elements. You trigger it by using electricity and then it just deals bzz and everything dies. Melee Influence is... It's strong, but it's kind of in the Revenant here, right? Boring because strong. I think that about sums it up. But, you know what, friends? I think I'm gonna call it quits for today. Next stream is gonna be on Friday, so you don't have to wait much longer. I'm trying to get the Korra video out tomorrow, but before you all leave, let's also go over to Twitch and raid someone, because that's always fun, isn't it? So for everybody watching on YouTube, click the link in the description down below and switch over to Twitch for 1 second so we can all raid someone else together. I have a certain idea about whom we could raid. Because last time we got a raid from Mr. Eiflin. Was it last time? Was it the time before? I'm not sure. And we could repay the favor. Just raid Mr. Eiflin back. So all the YouTube viewers quickly go over to Twitch so we can all raid together. And I'm just quickly going to go over to my channel so I can initiate that raid. Okay, everybody coming in, everybody joining. I'm going to type it in /raid Eiflin. So we're going to wait a couple more seconds for everybody from YouTube to come over who wants to join with the raid, have a little bit of fun. And then we're going to go to Eiflin, wish him a good Wednesday. And then we see each other on Friday. I mean, you see me in the video tomorrow, but in the stream, we're going to see each other on Friday before the dev stream. It's going to be a good one. And I wish you all a good week until then. Bye-bye.